Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 3 o'clock. I'm John Merkier. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story, charges filed for sexual assault at Milwaukee's intermodal station.
I'm Julia Fellow. A lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Northbound on 4394, right in the Marquette, heading into the Marquette. We have the right lane blocked with a broken down vehicle. So it looks like it's a truck, and so we've got big delays stretching all the way back to Beecher. On southbound 43, we have delays from Locust down into the Marquette. Westbound 94, you're slowing down from 35th Street to Hawley Road. Same thing for the eastbound side, only flip it from Hawley Road to about 35th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, chance for rain, maybe some storms, a low of 60. Tomorrow, another chance for heavy weather in the afternoon, a high of 75. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a man now faces felony charges for climbing over a bathroom stall in the Milwaukee Intermodal Station and allegedly sexually assaulting a stranger.
Station security told investigators they found the man assaulting a woman on the bathroom floor. One of the guards then fired a single shot that didn't hit anyone before the man, identified in a complaint as Cephas Johnson, was arrested. The complaint notes the alleged station assault was the second incident in under 12 hours involving Johnson, who is also accused of assaulting a different woman outside a Wisconsin Avenue bar. He also allegedly told investigators if released, he would, quote, kill women. Downtown Alderman Bob Bauman is now calling on the state DOT to increase station security. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
With summer approaching, concerns are growing about police coverage.
As more officers are sent downtown to patrol areas like Water Street, questions remain about coverage in other neighborhoods.
Putting focus on our entertainment district downtown. Movement of officers around the city is what we do consistently. Are we in the greatest place in regards to our recruitment? No.
Milwaukee Police Chief Jeffrey Norman tells WTMJ.
We need officers. We're looking for great men and women out here to reflect what our community needs in regards to great sworn officers doing the work for our community.
Chief Norman says they'll continue to balance resources citywide as overall crime is down 8%. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
A Girl Scout camp is updating security after an incident on the grounds.
The updates come after 48-year-old Paul David, who was living on the grounds with his wife who worked at the camp, was caught with firearms and drugs in the home that were in reach of the couple's 2 children. Girl Scouts of Wisconsin says the charges are related to an isolated domestic dispute. The organization says they're using the incident to update security protocols, including increased sheriff's office and DNR patrols, a restraining order against David, further screenings and background checks for individuals over 14, and stricter storage guidelines. David's wife is no longer employed with Girl Scouts. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
A fragile ceasefire between Iran and the U.S. appears to be holding.
President Trump says the U.S. blockade in the Strait of Hormuz has begun. The military blocking ships attempting to enter or exit Iranian ports there. Asked what his end game is, to force Iran back to the negotiating table or reopen the strait to bring down gas prices, the president said it's both.
We can't let a country blackmail or extort the world, because that's what they're doing. They're really blackmailing the world. We're not going to let that happen.
Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
Markets are holding steady for the most part as investors remain optimistic for more talks between the U.S. and Iran to end the war. Annex Wealth Management CEO Dave Spano tells WTMJ's point taken.
If you look at it in the context of what the market thinks about this, it does appear that they think there should be some resolution, and the fact that the United States is now blocking that to put leverage not only on Iran, but China as well.
And late this afternoon, all the markets are up big time. We'll have the numbers for you coming up at the bottom of the hour.
Coming up, Brewers Christian Yelich gets an MRI.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:04.
I'm very familiar with Gruber Law offices because they're always out in the community.
Gruber Law offices are known to be honest, hardworking.
They're always involved in our neighborhoods.
Gruber Law offices make our community a better place.
They are the best. For nearly 40 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped people throughout Wisconsin. If you're injured, we're here to help. One call, that's all.
Wisconsin would not be the same without Gruber Law offices.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
Person under arrest after a shooting at Milwaukee's intermodal station that's just on the edge of downtown.
Eric Billstad.
Milwaukee leaders will consider renaming Cesar Chavez Drive following allegations of sexual abuse against the civil rights icon.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
Got some backups on southbound 43 from before Hampton all the way down to Locust.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
Who's hungry? Lake Geneva Restaurant Week is back April 18th through the 26th, and you're invited. For 9 delicious days, dozens of the area's top spots roll out special breakfast, lunch, and dinner menus packed with flavor and price to impress. Whether you're craving a cozy cafe vibe or a night of upscale dining, this is your chance to explore it all. Dig into participating restaurants, menus, and all the mouthwatering details at visitlakegeneva.com. Lake Geneva, it's always been the place for distinctive dining.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group, with today's tax tip. The deduction for state and local taxes has increased from $10,000 to $40,000 for 2025. The deduction includes real estate taxes and state income taxes withheld or paid through estimated payments. The change may allow you to itemize deductions in 2025, which may trigger the ability to deduct charitable contributions as well. You earned it. We help you keep it. For more tips or if you have questions, visit nealgroup.net or call 414-325-2040. That's NEAL group.net.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers are waiting on results of an MRI that will determine how much time Christian Yelich will miss with a hamstring injury suffered in yesterday's loss to the Nationals, Milwaukee's 5th straight defeat.
Every team's going to go through this, and it hurts like crazy, but I still like the team. We're most likely going to get some bad news on Yelich to further put us down, if you want to.
The homestand continues for Pat Murphy's crew tomorrow night against the Toronto Blue Jays. And after 3 seasons with the Bucks, head coach Doc Rivers is out. When asked if he's played his last game as a member of the Bucks, Giannis told Eric Name of The Athletic, "I don't know. It's not up to me. We will see." Eric Name joins us coming up later on in the show.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 3:07.
Business owners and right-hand men and women. When you make the catering call for your office gathering, make it Marty's Pizza. For pizza, pasta, subs, wings, appetizers, and more. Delivered in our heated oven delivery trucks. Our catering delivery range has expanded all the way east into Brookfield. Just log on to martyspizza.net for easy online ordering. Or give us a call at 262-646-3327. 262-646-3327.
Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember Marty's Pizza.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
Like Alex says, let's go. Come on, it's Monday. You ready?
I'm hot. Dying.
I'm not going to lie. It's like 82 degrees in the studio and muggy.
I have boob sweat.
It's 82 degrees in the studio and it's hot.
It's horrible.
I'm not going to lie, but if that's the worst thing, Julia, we got going, it's good. We're okay.
It's bad.
Right? Let's
bad.
get to it. What are we tracking on this sweaty Monday?
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
All right, first up, Julia, are you a fan of pistachios?
Oh, love.
Me too. Love the flavor. I love the actual pistachio nut. Well, they're at an all-time high because Iran is one of the top exporters of pistachios in the world, and we know what's happening in Iran. They're actually number 2 in the world. They're eaten by themselves. They're also a very common ingredient in ice cream, chocolate, and beverages, more in the last 12 months because of Dubai chocolate, which has pistachios in it. So the conflict in Iran is crunching supplies, according to experts, in an already constrained market because the weather hasn't been good there the past couple of years. There's been insecurity there the past couple of years. It's not good. Consumption has surged globally since pistachio-filled Dubai chocolate bars went viral on TikTok. You remember that back in 2023. And now what's being made in Iran can't get through the strait. So there's a big problem going on. Companies that import pistachios from Iran have had to cancel shipping. It's not good. It's not good. Experts warn that this summer, in things like ice cream, there could be less pistachios, or pistachio-flavored items could be taken off the menu altogether. It's not good. It's not good. Number 2, how about this? Remember when we talked about Bobby Portis last year? He had a big old house. I think it's in Fox Hills. It's somewhere on the North Shore.
River Hills.
River Hills, thank you. River Hills. I always want to combine Fox Point and River Hills. I remember it was burglarized, and $1.5 million of stuff was stolen. It was a South American burglary group. They've been charged, blah, blah, blah. I think a lot of people didn't realize that Bobby Portis also owned a condo on the east side. Well, the condo has just sold for $1.5 million to the president of Oconomowoc-based Premold Corporation.
Ooh, you've got all the deets.
I know. Listen to this. The 6,000 square foot condo has 8 bedrooms. It's a condo.
What?
I said 8 bedrooms. Sorry. 8 rooms, 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. That would be a lot of bedrooms.
How many
wouldn't
square
it?
feet is this?
6,000. So big. Doesn't have, I'm thinking it must be a penthouse unit. It must be something really special. But it sold. He had it for many, many years, according to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, and it sold for $1.5 million.
Did you watch the Masters this weekend?
Oh, my God. Yes, I was glued to it Saturday and Sunday.
That is our number 3. Rory McIlroy, didn't he win again?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Rory won again.
All right. So imagine you have all the grit. You get to the Masters. You are performing. And then you get ill. That happened to Hao Tong Lee. He had a triple bogey and a devastating 10 on the 13th, dropped him out of contention. The day before, he was in the top 10.
I saw that.
And the reason why is because he was sick.
When I got to the golf course and still feeling really bad, kind of like live in the toilet. No energy, fuzzy, want to throw out something. Glad I'm survived today. Especially after that 4 birdies, somehow I felt quite nice.
Oh, wow.
He ended at 38th.
Yeah.
38th place. Talk about rallying, though. Even if you feel sick, you still come to work.
Yeah, you talk about grit. I mean, he sucked it up. He got it done. It's interesting you say that because I watched yesterday, and they didn't show him very much because he fell out of contention. But when they did, he looked like he was walking really slow. He looked like he wasn't right.
No, that is the worst. I mean, and then his next chance, I mean, he's got to rally again. I mean, that's
now he's got to wait a whole year and hope that he makes it to the Masters next year. Oh, that's kind of heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
I was happy Rory won, though. It was fun. And his little daughter, Poppy, his little 3-year-old daughter, Poppy, she's so cute. It is 3:13 at WTMJ. Coming up, the very latest on the war with Iran. We're live with Jordana Miller in Israel.
An epic Brewers Pirates series is coming April 24th through the 26th. Kick it off with Star Wars Night on Friday the 24th. And check out a post-game laser show presented by ESPN Milwaukee. Then on Saturday the 25th, get a Brewers Windbreaker giveaway courtesy of Quartz. Wrap up the series with Family Sunday fun and kids cheer free. Plus, the first 5,000 kids take home an Abner Uribe poster. Grab a seat at Brewers.com.
Sometimes we don't feel as good as we should feel. Maybe it's a shoulder and elbow. Maybe your hip's bothering you. You got ankle issues or a knee that's gimpy. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin will take great care of you. If you need surgery, they'll do that. But before surgery at OHAU, they will put you through all the imaging, all the tests. They'll try physical therapy. That's what they did for my wife, Michelle. They will work through all of that. Only doing surgery if it's absolutely necessary. Highest patient satisfaction ratings. Start your journey to feeling better with the teams I trust at Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin. You deserve to feel better. Go to the website, OHOW.com, OHOW.com. Click Request an Appointment.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Rich Top Exteriors and Capital Heating and Cooling. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. Yet at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation. Don't just upgrade, transform your home. From bold exteriors to breathtaking baths, Exterior Pros makes it happen. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
Traffic and weather. Debbie Lozica, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John. Well, looks like southbound on 41 has got the backups now from about the county line or just before all the way down to Appleton Avenue. That is one of the construction zones we're dealing with there. And then we've also got another one on the northbound side between Mayfair Road and Burleigh, where we're seeing most of those delays. Southbound 43 backing up from about Burleigh all the way down through the Marquette and onto the high rise, with the northbound side backing up from about Beecher Street up into the Marquette. And westbound 94, heavy ride from about 30th Street all the way to Hawley Road, eastbound slowing down from Mitchell Boulevard to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The National Weather Service has issued a tornado watch for many counties where you can hear this show. Fond du Lac, Sheboygan, Columbia, Greene, Lake Marquette, Dodge, Ozaukee, and Washington County. A tornado watch until 10 o'clock this evening. That means conditions are right for a tornado, but a tornado has not been spotted or confirmed on radar. Keep it here. We will keep you updated. If it turns into a warning, we'll let you know. We are on top of it. WTMJ mobile app with all the alerts is another great way to stay on top of it. So tonight the rain is going to come in and it's going to continue. A low of only 60 tonight. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, warm, a high of 75. More rain tomorrow afternoon. Some of it could be severe. On Wednesday, thunderstorms 62. Thursday morning rain 67. Friday, partly sunny, a high of 70 degrees. Appears there could be a showdown in the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. military early this morning says they began with a blockade of Iranian ports and coastal areas. How is this all playing out right now at this hour? What has happened today? Jordana Miller, ABC News, with us from Jerusalem. I guess, Jordana, good afternoon. That's the first question. How is this playing out at this hour?
Well, I think, we're at a very tense moment. The president's naval blockade's been, implemented for several hours now. And we know that the Iranians have said they will fire on naval vessels that they believe are in the strait. They're also threatening to attack ports in the Sea of Oman, in the Persian Gulf, the ports of other allies in the Gulf. So certainly, we could see some kind of confrontation. The president has also threatened to fire back at some of those at some of those missile boats that he said may threaten vessels. But for now, we're really just in a wait and watch mode. We have seen from one of the trackers that two ships have turned around in the last several hours since the blockade went into force. And there's, aside from the blockade, there's still an issue of mines, right? The Iranians did lay mines in the strait, and those have to be removed as well. It won't be enough to just have U.S. naval forces, at the mouth, if you will, of the Gulf of the Strait of Hormuz. There has to also be a path that is clear and safe, right? So I think, we're going to have to wait and see how this pans out. It could possibly bring us closer to a ceasefire. If, as we heard from the president earlier today, he said the Iranians have called, they want to talk. So maybe just the start of this is, convincing the Iranians it's worth their while to come back to the negotiating table rather than potentially losing something like, $400 million a day if the blockade, once it's set and really putting a kind of stranglehold on Iran's economy.
Jordana, Israel has gone in and out of ceasefire since the October 7th attacks. How much weight do you put on it that this will actually happen between the U.S. and Israel in this case? U.S. and Iran in this case, excuse me.
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Here in Israel, I think people are very war weary at this point. We're coming on almost 3 years of war with a little break in between. And I think actually a lot of Israelis are confused about what's coming next. And by the way, if there is a ceasefire deal, I guess, if the terms are tough enough and the Iranians give up for 2 decades or more their right to enrich uranium, if they turn over all those piles of, almost 900 pounds of enriched material, and agree to some limits on their ballistic missile program, then maybe the war was worth it. But I think a lot of Israelis right now are wondering, okay, what did we get for these, 5 weeks, 5.5 weeks where the country was paralyzed? There's, 27 people were killed, thousands were injured. The north of Israel, there's still fierce fighting going on between Israel and Hezbollah, so it's still a war zone there. I think Israelis want to know what's going to come at the end of this, what was achieved. It's still unclear.
Yeah, I think Americans want to know that too. We hear that over and over on our talking text line.
Yeah.
We hear that everywhere. Jordana, you mentioned that behind-the-scenes talks may be happening. What do we know about that? Are they indeed happening? Is J.D. Vance involved? Are these lower levels with intermediaries? What do we know about that? Does it sound like talks are actually, at some level, continuing?
It does appear that there are lines of communication that are open, have remained open even after the American team left Islamabad on Sunday. And the talks could be about trying to get, another face-to-face meeting between the U.S. and Iran before the ceasefire actually, before it ends. Right, there's still another week or so left, right, in the initial period of the ceasefire, right? So there are credible reports that the lines of communication are open, and we heard the president himself say that they've called and there's some talks going on.
Jordana, what we're hearing from U.S. media here is that Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, he made his case for the U.S. to go into Iran. And there was a forward reply from the president of the United States. Sounds good to me. What is your media reporting on Benjamin Netanyahu urging the U.S. to do this?
Well, it's no secret that the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, has always preferred to launch a major attack on Iran with the United States, right? The Israeli army is excellent, especially its Air Force, but it's a small military, right? And Iran is a vast country with huge military resources, right? And so Netanyahu always wanted to do a major attack to cripple Iran's nuclear program with the help of the United States. So here in Israel, that's not even news because analysts have been talking about it for years. And Netanyahu, has talked about, again, after the fact, that this was the best way to go after Iran and its nuclear program. I think, I think the president really could not have been convinced or dragged or hoodwinked into a war in Iran. He had his own very strong feelings about going into Iran and the threat that the Iranian nuclear program poses, not just to the region, but to American interests. And I think what happened during just the 5.5 weeks of war shows that Iran really can wreak havoc on the region with its ballistic missiles, global economic pain with its control of the Strait of Hormuz. I think many here in Israel believe that President Trump does not want to leave the Strait of Hormuz in the hands of the Iranians. It's just they're too unpredictable. But I think, where Netanyahu may have had an impact or influence on Trump was perhaps the timing of the war, but not the green light to go to war.
Right. ABC's Jordana Miller in Jerusalem. Jordana, thank you.
Thank you. Talk soon.
Markets today ended big time in the green. The Dow was up 301, the Nasdaq up 280, the S&P up 69 points. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Know the difference with Annex.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in eastern Wisconsin. So there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit frederick.com/cancer.
John Mercure here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. What if your screens could disappear until you needed them? That'd be a great view, right? Well, meet Pella's 250 series vinyl windows with the accordion hidden screen. Gives you a clearer view with 44% more light than conventional screens. Here's how it works. The screen appears when the window opens to let in the fresh air, then tucks away when you don't need it, giving you a view that's clear, beautiful, practical, even easier to clean. The right windows and doors can improve comfort, boost energy efficiency, and upgrade your home's overall style. I know, I'm a Pella guy. Expert recommendations designed around your home, your needs, and the way you live. They guide you every step of the way, helping you choose the right options for your home, your style, and your budget. If you've been holding off on making those replacements, now is the time. Pella of Wisconsin offering 0% interest financing all the way until 2030. That's right, 0% interest until 2030. Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends April 30th. Set up your free home in consultation today with the teams I trust at Pella. PellaWI.com.
Struggling to provide for your family is a real thing, like having to choose between feeding them a warm meal or paying the utility bill. These are the choices many Milwaukee residents are faced with, which is why they turn to St. Vincent de Paul Society's meal program for help. Our meal program has been a consistent resource for those in need for over 42 years. Nutritious meals, warm showers, and clean clothes, all in a safe, family-friendly environment. Our mission is clear, and that's to help you break the cycle of poverty by connecting you with life-changing community and educational resources. Last year, we provided $2.2 million in goods and services, plus 57,000 warm meals. If you or anyone you know needs a warm evening meal, you can find us at Harambe Kitchen 5 nights a week on the northeast side of Milwaukee in the basement of All People's Church. And at Crossroads Kitchen on the south side of Milwaukee 6 nights a week on 9th and Madison. As always, we're grateful for community members and volunteers who help us help you. To learn more, visit svdpmilw.org.
Your financial life is not just about numbers. It is a journey, and Annex Wealth Management aims to help you move through it with clarity. When markets shift, it can be hard to understand what it means for what you have built. Annex offers guidance as a fee-only fiduciary firm, which means their recommendations are built around your best interests rather than commissions or product sales. Annex gives you access to a local team that includes wealth managers, financial planners, investment managers, estate planning attorneys, and client service specialists who work together to create a strategy tailored to your situation. They help clients with investment management, retirement income, planning, tax coordination, estate planning, education funding, and business succession strategies. Annex knows there's different financial plans for different stages of life, and they can help you adjust as things change. With nationwide accessibility, Annex blends personal attention with leading-edge tools to offer an experience built around informed decision-making. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference. Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story from staff cuts to new positions at Milwaukee Public Schools.
I'm Julia Fellow. The president refuses to apologize to the Pope.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Southbound on 43, we got backups from Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette. Northbound 41's backing up from Mayfair Road up to Burleigh. And westbound 94, you got backups from 27th Street all the way to about Hawley Road. Eastbound slowing down from just east of 68th Street to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
A tornado watch in effect for Ozaukee, Sheboygan, Fond du Lac, and Dodge counties until 10 o'clock tonight. Be weather aware. Tonight, a chance of rain and storms continue, mostly cloudy, then a low of 60. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and warm. A chance of evening storms again, a high of 75. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 71 degrees and mostly cloudy.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee Public Schools plan to add nearly 90 new teaching positions next school year. Superintendent Dr. Brenda Casalius tells Wisconsin's Morning News.
And made a determination that we were going to protect our student services, protect direct services to our children, particularly students who are most vulnerable, like our students with special needs, and also really manage class size across the district because that's what our parents expect.
The move comes as the district works to close a $46 million budget gap while protecting classroom resources. Casalius says cuts to other areas are necessary to help close the budget deficit.
A man is in custody after arming himself with a baseball bat at a youth sporting event.
Franklin police initially responded to reports of gunshots being fired at the Midwest Orthopedic Performance Center around 2:45 Sunday afternoon. It turned out that several people in the crowd got into a fight, and there is no evidence that any gun was fired. Police arrested a 36-year-old man from Illinois on recommended charges of recklessly endangering safety for allegedly arming himself with a baseball bat. One person was treated at the scene for minor injuries. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
The man accused of throwing a Molotov cocktail at the home of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman is now facing federal charges. ABC's Mike Dubusky.
Texas man Daniel Moreno-Gama is being accused of throwing a firebomb at the house of Sam Altman last week, sparking a fire. Police say they later discovered writing from Moreno-Gama, including a list of investors, board members, and executives of prominent AI companies that he allegedly intended to kill.
Early Sunday, Altman's house was again the site of a police incident, this time a shooting. Police have 2 people in custody in that case.
President Trump attacked Pope Leo XIV in a lengthy social media post for speaking out about the war in Iran. And at the start of the trip of Africa, Pope Leo told reporters he was not criticizing the president personally.
The things that I say are certainly not meant as attacks on anyone. And the message of the gospel is very clear. Blessed are the peacemakers. I will not shy away from announcing the message of the gospel.
President Trump once again denounced Pope Leo today for opposing the war and said he doesn't owe the Pope an apology.
A Wisconsin election has been decided by a coin flip.
In Outagamie County, last week's race for village trustee in Hortonville had 4 candidates vying for 3 open seats. Shauna Keel and Dalton Davis tied for that final seat with 356 votes each. Per state statute, if 2 or more candidates receive the same amount of votes, the winner must be chosen by a random, unbiased method. They flipped a coin to settle that tie. Keel was given heads and Davis had tails. The result was tails, electing Davis to the 3rd position for village trustee. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
There's a proposal to limit food truck hours downtown.
At Friday's Public Safety and Health Committee meeting, Alderman Bob Bauman proposed a plan to shut down food trucks on Water Street earlier, hoping to cut down on late-night disorder.
So this file basically amends the food truck prohibition from what is currently 1 a.m. to a 10 p.m. prohibition.
But not everyone agrees. Alderman Mark Chambers.
A good amount of officers that come from our neighborhoods go down to downtown every weekend to protect the entertainment district. If we restrict those opportunities for them to go get food or anything, guess where they're coming back? Into our neighborhoods where those officers are going.
The ordinance passed committee on a 4-1 vote and now heads to the full Common Council. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Bucks end their season with a loss to the 76ers, and it wraps up Doc Rivers' time as head coach. We discussed the Doc Rivers situation coming up after the news in depth on WTMJ. And we're still waiting on results of an MRI of Brewers outfielder Christian Yelich's hamstring, which he injured in the loss to the Nationals yesterday. The Brewers are off today before starting a 3-game series against the Toronto Blue Jays at American Family Field tomorrow.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:35.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ishnala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here. I am a little bit obsessed with the Royals, the traditions, the secrets, the history behind those palace walls. Now imagine this. You're standing in London with me watching a changing of the guard in person. You step inside and come face to face with the crown jewels. Later, you're sitting down for a proper afternoon tea, soaking in it all. That's exactly what we're going to do. The British Crown Experience with Fox World Travel and Insight Vacations. We're not just visiting England, we're stepping into its history, walking through Oxford's centuries-old halls, standing in awe at Stonehenge, experiencing royal history as it happened. And here's the thing, trips like these don't come around often, and spots will go quickly. So, if it's ever been on your bucket list like me, don't wait. Visit foxworldtravel.com. That's foxworldtravel.com, or call GoFoxGo, 866-GO-FOX-GO, right now to reserve your spot. Because this isn't just a vacation, it's your chance to live the royal experience, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. 866-GO-FOX-GO.
From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in-store and online. Staples, that was easy.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ.
The rest of this half hour, we're going to talk in depth about the Doc Rivers situation, the Bucks situation, how it impacts moving forward. I want to start the conversation with Telly Hughes, award-winning journalist at Good Karma Brands. Telly, thank you so much for always making some time for us.
I appreciate it.
All right, so let's start. Were you surprised that Doc Rivers was let go, or no? Is this kind of what you thought was going to happen?
I thought this was what was going to happen, because what do you do, or how do you sell your fans that we need another run at this, and we're going to try and get Giannis back? And but the fact remained, and Doc said most of it himself, this team just did not have the pieces, and he thought that he could take this team somewhere even without those pieces. And so, to me, this was definitely pretty much on schedule, in my opinion. I'm glad that they didn't do it during the trade deadline or the All-Star break and put another coach in the same position he was in coming in mid-season. So, I'm glad that they were able to keep it on the rails enough to finish this season out, and him being dismissed at the end Doesn't surprise me at all, and definitely don't feel sorry for someone who's going to get an 8-figure severance too. So let's keep that in mind.
True.
And Giannis says that he was surprised. Do you buy that?
Absolutely not. Because one of them was going to have to go, if not both of them. So for Giannis to say that he was shocked, because if you didn't think this was going to happen, what made you think they were going to keep him? Was there any other signs outside of what the public was seeing that made you actually believe that they were going to keep Doc Rivers? Because based off of what we have heard, you all's relationship was, that wasn't something that was going to make the Bucks organization want to keep him. So again, I'm not buying that. And there's been several things that Giannis has said that I'm not buying, but that's right on that list.
So his regular season record wasn't even 500. In the playoffs, he was 3-8. It's just not a good situation. Telly, you watch sports a lot. You worked for the Bucks as a broadcaster. Is Doc old school too much? Is he not innovative and young and not the type of guy that should be in that seat?
I do believe that that this hire was based off of just getting a name and in that seat, because we could go back to Adrian Griffin having a 31-13 record or something like that and getting fired. And but to me, there's always some bubbling in the water before it comes to a full boil, of course. And I could go back to Adrian Griffin 2 days before the regular season started. Assistant coach Terry Stotts resigned. And to me, that raised a red flag, because I was like, uh-oh, something's not right. There's a guy with head coaching experience that they wanted to put around a first-time head coach. And, oh, by the way, we just traded for Damian Lillard, where Terry Stotts coached Damian Lillard. So you would think this was all a perfect marriage. And when that happened, that raised an alarm for me, not for a lot of people, because there's just like, oh, he's just an assistant coach. But what assistant coach is going to go through an entire training camp and right before the season starts say, okay, I'm out? And so to me, that was the start of it. And then I think the Bucks were put in a position where maybe some of the players didn't take to Adrian Griffin. So we need to get somebody in here. And Doc Rivers is a Hall of Fame coach, just inducted into the Hall of Fame. And so, what bigger name or that you could get to come and excite a fan base and excite a superstar who is starting to think that you guys don't know what you're doing. So I understood the hire, but I didn't think that it was a great hire for the Bucks in that situation, because I just didn't think that Doc would come and turn this into a championship team.
He is Telly Hughes. Telly, thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
How is this likely to impact what the Bucks need to do in the offseason? They sell tickets. They sell sponsorships. They're now searching for a new head coach. Mark Cass from Team Lammy with us live in the studio up next.
Before I moved to Capri Communities, my daughter spent more time helping me with chores than enjoying our visits. Now, when she comes over, we go to concerts, enjoy delicious meals, and participate in great activities that are always happening. I choose senior living so that our time together can be about fun, not fixing things. And I love the freedom it gives me every day.
Give the care that has your parent enjoying life again. Get started today at CapriCommunities.com.
April is Global Volunteer Month. Wisconsin's volunteers are transforming our communities every day through their acts of service. Wondering how you can give back? Find the perfect volunteer opportunities at volunteerwisconsin.org or contact your local United Way or volunteer center. On volunteerwisconsin.org, you can filter opportunities by location, organization, cause, accessibility, and more to find your best fit. VolunteerWisconsin.org is hosted by United Way of Wisconsin and Serve Wisconsin. Paid for by United Way of Wisconsin.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert here with my son David, Accunet's president and maestro of metaphor. What do you have for us today?
Dad, buying a home is a lot like having a baby. And it turns out that in today's extra competitive market, getting real estate pregnant with your offer accepted is the hardest part. So along with your agent, your AccuNet loan consultant will do everything possible to get your real estate bun in the oven.
Yep, we can definitely help buyers make their offers more competitive. Okay, so once you've made the real estate baby, so to speak, what else do buyers and their agents want?
As a son, now this is getting gross and I regret the metaphor. But the next thing everyone wants are regular checkups and an on-time delivery. That's where AccuNet really shines, with proactive weekly updates to reassure the sometimes nervous homeowners-to-be that everything's okay and on track.
It all starts with a rock-solid, guaranteed pre-approval, and our home buying clinic is always open. Just click on the blue button at AccuNet.com to get started. That's ACCUNET.com.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
The leader in the dugout, the skipper, the man who riles up the crew with his words of inspiration.
You mean my old ass? Is that what you're saying?
Yep, that's our guy. Brewers manager Pat Murphy joins Wisconsin's Morning News every Tuesday at 8:45 for Brewers 360.
Say, hey, Spro, you're on the team. Deal with it.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited, Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Cannon and Dumphy, and Ridgetop Exteriors.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let Tayback help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Traffic and then weather. Debbie Lazica, how are the roads?
Well, we've got some delays. We got a crash as well. Southbound on the Rock Freeway, about a mile and a half past the Racine Avenue ramp. It's off on the left shoulder, so watch out for some delays heading through that area. We've also got some backups on southbound 41 through the construction zone from before the county line all the way down to Appleton Avenue. And then we have one other accident. This is on the ramp from Barker Road to eastbound 94. It's out of the way, so you should be able to get onto the freeway that way, but that's just something to keep in mind. As far as delays are concerned, you got backups on southbound 43 coming in from Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Here is your WTMJ 5-day forecast. We have a tornado watch in effect for Ozaukee, Sheboygan, Fond du Lac, and Dodge counties until 10 o'clock tonight. Be weather aware. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and warm. A chance of evening storms, a high of 75. Wednesday, a chance of rain and thunderstorms continue, a high of 62. Thursday, morning showers and partly cloudy, a high of 67. Friday, partly sunny, a high of 70 degrees. Right now, Milwaukee, it's 69 degrees and cloudy.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, your local experts for roofing, siding, and window projects. Mark Cass is the Chief Operating Officer of Team Lammy and the Executive Director of the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame. Always has great insight into these sports stories and business stories, and Mark's with us in the studio. Hey, Mark.
John, it's always good to see you. Julia, what a Sunday night, huh?
What a
I'm
Sunday
sitting
night.
on the couch going, okay, there goes Doc. Okay, there goes Chris McIntosh. Who's next?
Yeah.
This all happened within like an hour of each other last night on a Sunday night. That was
It actually
crazy.
started earlier.
Yeah.
On Sunday, earlier in the day, I saw Mark Cass's brother Lenny pretty much take him out and get the
Wait a
best of him
second.
on the pickleball
That's
court.
because you were on my team, John, and I had to carry you. And carrying all, I won't say how much, a 120 or maybe a little higher than 120.
That's nice. Did you say 120?
On my back. It's a lot to carry. Oh,
well,
my God.
you proved you couldn't do it because
I know.
Lenny
Wait,
just wiped us out.
He thought you were 120 pounds?
Yeah,
No,
I thought it was points or something.
I maybe dropped a number. Maybe it's 220, or maybe I don't know. Maybe it's
Well, it is closer to
No,
220 than
no.
120. We can all agree on that. Hey, Mark, let's get into this. You brought
Yeah.
this up. A big
Huge
development.
night.
Not
Yes.
a real surprise, but Doc
No,
Rivers.
no.
I want to start with this. The headline of the Journal Sentinel says Doc Rivers steps down as Bucks head coach.
I think he may have been encouraged. Just
if
saying.
he stepped down completely on his
Right,
own, like,
right.
I want to spend time with my kids,
Yeah.
they wouldn't be paying him his contract.
No. This is 100%. Everyone knew this was going to happen. I mean, it was a matter of time. Very unsuccessful year on the court. They had all the issues, the horrible press. Just not a great year for the team overall. So, no, this was expected. It clearly was a decision. He may have wanted to go, but I'm sure he was asked too. There's no doubt about it.
John, Doc's record, you had it in front of you.
It's right here, Mark. 97, 103, and 3-8 in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, it's been think about it. Think about 21. It seems like that was like 1982, doesn't it?
It does.
We're thinking back at 21. It was amazing. 22. It's been a tough couple years. Just things haven't clicked as well. They've had a lot of injuries, clearly, but still. I get the injuries, but look at the Celtics. I've been saying that for the last couple of years. The Celtics had a significant injury to their best player.
Yep.
Yet, you know what the seed they are? They're a 2 seed. And a lot of people think now that he's back, they're going to win the championship. It's crazy. Here it just didn't work, unfortunately.
If the Bucks decide that they want to keep Giannis and they're not ready to start over again, could you make the argument that this at least helps? It doesn't hurt. I mean, we're making a change. Giannis, we know winning is paramount. We're getting rid of a coach who hasn't got it done.
It was a start. It had to happen. There was no doubt it was going to happen just because of somebody had to go, right? A year like this, someone's head has to roll. So, yeah, I think it helps. Hopefully it helps with Giannis. I think it helps with the fans. There's a lot of anger out there. There's a lot of kind of sitting and waiting. I mean, I'll tell you what I said to the guy who called me for my tickets. I said, please call me back in fall. I don't want to talk to you now. You can't tell me if you're going to have Giannis on the team. You can't tell me kind of who's going to be on the team, what's going to happen. I said, I'll talk to you in fall. Thanks for calling.
That's a tough job that guy has. I didn't thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, why would anybody commit right now to a season ticket other than you're there for the experience, which I get, but I also want to know who's on the team and are they going to be a really competitive team?
Might be a good deal right now, though. Now that
that's true.
Mark's talking about
that's
that.
true. I wonder, Julia, Mark, if there's good deals on the sponsorship side of things.
Yeah,
that's a hard job. If you're the guy selling sponsorships and you're calling companies right now.
Think about this for the Bucks stuff.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, no doubt that's a tough stuff. But also on the honest side, think about what happened in the past 3 or 4 years. They got a lot of international sponsorships. So if he leaves, a lot of those international sponsorships are going to go with him, aren't they? Because that's why they did it. They did it because Giannis in Greece, obviously huge. Giannis anywhere in Europe, huge. So to me, that's a big thing here. This is a big time for the Bucks from both on the court and off the court. You saw it for those last few games. There were a lot of empty seats up there. I mean, which is not a surprise. So how do they sell seats between now and September? Good luck. I mean, it's going to be very, very difficult.
What's the deadline?
Go ahead, Julia.
No, what's the deadline? Where are we now?
Well, I don't think we're going to know something for a couple months. He can get a max contract in October. But I got to believe over the next month or two, they're going to sit down and say, Giannis, okay, hypothetically, if I offered you, $300 million or kind of whatever it is, will you accept it? He says yes or no, or they just decide they can't go. I think them not allowing him to play over the past 2 weeks is probably the end. If you think about it, he's mad about that. He really wanted to play with his brothers. That was a big deal to him.
He wanted that Nike bonus.
And you could, I think the brother thing was more important. He's about his brothers and family. There's no doubt. And the fact that he was not allowed to play with his brothers, I think, really bothers him.
But you could flip that, right? Couldn't they go to him and go, Giannis, we're literally the only team in the league that's going to let you have 2 brothers on the roster down the road.
Maybe your uncle, your aunt, your cousin, your mailman.
Want to play?
Who else? We'll bring them all in.
What little Bronny? LeBron James is
like that.
Right.
Because most teams are not going to do that.
No.
It's going to be an interesting couple of months, that's for sure.
No doubt. But again, think about if you're the guy who's trying to sell tickets or the woman who's trying to sell tickets or sponsorships.
That's a rough
It's a tough call right now.
Mark Cass is with us. He's the Chief Operating Officer for Team Lammy. Let's talk about something else that happened big yesterday. Chris McIntosh
surprise
out at Madison. This one seemed to surprise people. What do you make about this?
Yeah, I think it's a matter of a couple things are going on up there. I think the NIL and everything that's going on in college athletics, it's tough to be an AD right now. That's a tough job. You got to raise a lot of money. He's not worried about the football team. He's worried about raising money for all of his sports. So it's a tough job. I think they've had a rough couple of years for football, right? Think about the last, and he got a lot of kind of thing of that. They just lost their chancellor, just left, who was a big supporter of his. Maybe he saw the writing on the wall or things coming down and just said, hey, here's a great job. I'm going to grab it. What I thought was interesting, John, and I said this to you in a text today, he left immediately. He left today. It's like kind of 1 month notice, 2 month notice, 2 weeks notice. He's gone today. That's weird to me, and there's something more to that story.
What do you make of that? What could the options be there?
It could have been he went to them and they said goodbye. They said we don't want you here. But I can't believe he was a star in that team. He's a legend up there. If he played for his football playing, surprising to me. There's got to be more to the story there.
Yeah.
Tausch was upset. Mark Tauscher, former Badger, he was beside himself with how bad the season was. It's embarrassing.
It is. I mean, that was part. There's no doubt. But again, I mean, college athletics has changed. There was a quote. I don't know if you saw this the other day. The guy for Connecticut who hit the game-winning shot against Duke can make more next year in college than he can make in the NBA. as a rookie.
Wow.
As a rookie, because the rookies have a pay scale. Remember that? So he can earn more because he's going to be like the number one player for Connecticut.
Yeah, NIL superstar.
Right. NIL he could make $6 million,
Wow.
$4 million.
That's bad for the NBA.
Think about that.
Oh.
That's how college sports has changed.
That's terrible. All right, let's
He's
talk
making
about...
John McCure money. Right,
Okay.
Julia?
Exactly.
See, this leads into what
Wow.
I was going to say. The only guy who maybe talks more trash than Mark Cass is Micah Parsons. And you guys got something cool that you've been working on, the Packers charity softball game. Jordan Love's involved. Micah Parsons is involved.
Yep,
this is in
5th.
June. Man, there's some cool, fun energy around
June
this.
5th, up in Appleton at the Timber Stadium. We have Micah Parsons involved this year, and there's a championship belt involved here. Whoever wins the game, offense or defense, gets to take home the belt. And Jordan, the thing I found, these football players love these championship belts. They love wrestling. So they kind of like you said, you could get, essentially, you're holding up the belt. They want to win this belt. They will. I think Micah may be out there on his scooter playing because he wants to win this belt so bad. But it's a lot of fun. It's up in Appleton. It's to raise money for each of their foundations. It's to help causes in the community. Jordan and Mike are two awesome guys. They really want to be there, want to have fun, and just want to help the community. So please come out and support it. It's a great night. You get to see it. You get to see 25 or 30 of your favorite players on the softball field trying to play softball. And John, I'll say this: they play softball like you play pickleball. I'm just going to say
good?
that. Okay, I dropped the good and added another word. They're okay. Or maybe less than okay.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're better softball players than I'm a pickleball player.
I'm going to say this: watching a 300-pound guy trying to swing a bat is usually pretty interesting.
It is.
Yes.
It is. Are tickets still on sale?
There are still tickets. But they're selling fast. Ever since we announced Micah Parsons,
is he okay? Can he play?
No, he's not going to play in the game. He's going to come and coach. He'll be there on. God forbid, we're not going to hurt Micah Parsons before the season starts.
Oh, yeah.
But he'll be there. He'll be supporting the cause. But it's interesting to watch these players play. They're great on the football field. When it comes to other sports, not so much.
That's the headline. Mark Cass wrecks Micah Parsons.
No.
Season.
We're not doing that.
Don't let that happen.
Micah is going to be in the dugout. We're going to guard him. He's not going to get hurt. I promise you that.
Mark Cass is the Chief Operating Officer for Team Lammy and the Executive Director of the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame. It's a great place. You ought to walk by there. You ought to check it out online. Mark, always good to see you. Thank you so much.
It's always fun to be here, guys. Thanks.
It is 3:56.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The Village of Caledonia seeks a new developer after terminating an agreement with Cardinal Capital Management. The company never delivered on a proposal for a condominium development on Erie Street near Lake Michigan. A former financial advisor at Northwestern Mutual in Cincinnati sentenced to 5 years in prison for stealing $8.6 million from customers in a Ponzi scheme. John J. Kersey pleads guilty to wire fraud. Inpro Corporation in Muskego begins work this summer on new silos for raw materials as the company expands manufacturing. The company also opens a design center and showroom at its campus. I'm Rich Kirchin with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Most sump pumps only last 7 to 10 years. How long have you had yours? Vince Vitrano for Horner Plumbing. You do not want to wait for spring storms to answer that question for you. My team at Horner can install a new unit or inspect the one you have and make sure it's going to keep your basement dry. No more nervously waiting out storms, hoping you don't lose power. Horner Plumbing can install a battery backup on your sump pump system that will keep running even when the lights are out. $100 off when you tell them Vinny sent you. HornerPlumbing.com.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lazaga here for Comfort Awnings. Now is a great time to get an awning from Comfort Awnings installed to have it ready for the summer. You can enjoy our beautiful Wisconsin summer no matter the weather. You can extend the motorized awning when the sun gets a bit too hot, or even when it rains. It's so peaceful listening to the pitter-patter of the rain on the awning. My awning from Comfort Awnings is truly an extension of my living room. It gives me tons more space to entertain family and friends friends in my backyard. Plenty of room. Let the dogs run around. It's a blast. And they've got a great offer going on right now until the end of April. You get 10% off your screen or awnings order up to $1,000. This is Comfort Awnings' biggest offer ever. Don't miss your chance to get up to $1,000 off. To get started, call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com today.
This is Bo from Ridgetop Exteriors. Your home should be the one place that you feel completely comfortable and safe, but old, drafty windows can steal that feeling. At Ridgetop Exteriors, we bring that peace of mind back. As Wisconsin's leading Pella Premier contractor, we install beautiful, secure windows and doors that can save you up to 40% on your energy bills. Get a home full of new Pella windows for as low as $198 a month. Learn more at ridgetopexteriors.com.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Traffic is sponsored by Burghardt Sporting Goods, the Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center. Burghardt Sporting Goods. Visit them today in New Berlin.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 4 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: felony charges filed after an apparent sexual assault at the Milwaukee Intermodal Station.
I'm Julia Fellow. The end of an era for UW.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Still seeing delays on southbound 43, basically from Capitol Drive, solid all the way down through the Marquette. On the northbound side, a little bit backed up, heading up from Kilbourne all the way to North Avenue. Westbound 94, you've got delays from 27th Street to Hawley Road. Eastbound's backed up from 70th Street to 35th. And then on the bypass, heading eastbound, slowing down out of the Hale interchange all the way to about Forest Home. And northbound 894, we do have a crash at the ramp from Beloit Road. The right shoulder is blocked with that one. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
A tornado watch is in effect for Ozaukee, Sheboygan, Fond du Lac, and Dodge counties until 10 o'clock. Thunderstorms are likely for all of us tonight. A low of 60 degrees. Tomorrow, warm, humid. Thunderstorms likely in the afternoon. A high of only 44 tomorrow. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a man now faces felony charges after police say he climbed over a bathroom stall in the Milwaukee Intermodal Station, and they claim he sexually assaulted a stranger.
Station security told investigators they found the man assaulting a woman on the bathroom floor. One of the guards then fired a single shot that didn't hit anyone before the man, identified in a complaint as Cephas Johnson, was arrested. The complaint notes the alleged station assault was the second incident in under 12 hours involving Johnson, who is also accused of assaulting a different woman outside a Wisconsin Avenue bar. He also allegedly told investigators if released, he would, quote, kill women. Downtown Alderman Bob Bauman is now calling on the state DOT to increase station security. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
New data from Milwaukee Police shows homicide numbers are unchanged compared to this time last year. Police Chief Jeffrey Norman.
Even though we had 22% reduction in violent crime, we were slightly above in homicides. Homicides remain a struggle in our community. But understand that we still should lean in and continue to do whatever we can to reduce the accessibility of firearms.
Chief Norman says reducing deadly violence remains a top priority.
Girl Scout Camp Silverbrook is updating security after an incident on the grounds.
The updates come after 48-year-old Paul David, who was living on the grounds with his wife who worked at the camp, was caught with firearms and drugs in the home that were in reach of the couple's 2 children. Girl Scouts of Wisconsin says the charges are related to an isolated domestic dispute. The organization says they're using the incident to update security protocols, including increased sheriff's office and DNR patrols, a restraining order against David, further screenings and background checks for individuals over 14, and stricter storage guidelines. David's wife is no longer employed with Girl Scouts. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
A marathon session in Pakistan this weekend failed to produce peaceful end to Operation Epic Fury, and a U.S. naval blockade of the Strait of Hormuz now officially underway. CBS Natalie Brand.
Iran is doing absolutely no business, and we're going to keep it that way.
Iranian state TV showed U.S. Navy destroyers being monitored near the strait.
Attention all vessels in Oman Sea. This is Iranian Sepah Navy.
And Iran's Revolutionary Guard threatened to retaliate, saying U.S. military ships will get a, quote, forceful response.
We are ready for any options.
President Trump on social media warned if Iranian fast ships come anywhere close to the U.S. blockade, they will be eliminated.
Pakistan says it's calling on the U.S. and Iran to return to the table.
Chris McIntosh era is over at the University of Wisconsin, and the search is on for a new director of athletics.
But who is going to lead recruitment efforts?
Now you have the double whammy here of having to replace an athletic director when you have only an interim chancellor and no president of the system.
MMAC senior advisor Tim Sheehy. Chancellor Jennifer Mnuchin is leaving for Columbia this summer. Jay Rothman was recently fired as the UW system's president.
But I think the pieces are in place. I think this is a very attractive job. The question is, who's going to make the decision on recruiting that new athletic director?
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
McIntosh begins his new role with the Big Ten May 1st.
Coming up, an uncertain future for Giannis.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:04.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. If 2025 didn't go exactly as planned, you're not alone. You made it through, and that's what counts. Now it's time for taxes, and for a lot of people, that's when the stress kicks in, especially if things got messy along the way. The good news? A rough year doesn't mean a ruined future. We helped Nate fix a tax mess with the IRS created by one of those national firms and saved him $103,000 in penalties, plus another $150,000 in taxes, because we know the tax law. Imagine walking into tax season with a plan, clarity, and someone in your corner who knows the tax law and knows how to use it. You earned it. We help you keep it. Call us now at 414-325-2040 to arrange a meeting to see how we can help you. Don't wait. Call now. That's 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
Son, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And eat pizza.
Preferably a Marty's Pizza, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, we do everything we can to keep the prices low. We're a family-run business, and many of our employees have families. I want to make sure that as tight as it gets, a growing family can always afford to enjoy a Marty's Pizza.
Marty's Pizza in Delafield.
And martyspizza.net for easy online ordering.
Register online for Red Card Loyalty, and after 15 pizzas, you'll get your next one free!
Marty's Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember, Marty's Pizza.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Brewers are waiting on results of an MRI that will determine how much time Christian Yelich will miss with a hamstring injury suffered during yesterday's loss to the Nationals. Milwaukee's fifth straight defeat. Here's manager Pat Murphy.
Every team's going to go through this, and it hurts like crazy, but I still like the team. We're most likely going to get some bad news on Yelich to further put us down, if you want to.
The homestand continues for Murphy's crew tomorrow night against the Toronto Blue Jays. And after 3 seasons with the Bucks, head coach Doc Rivers is stepping down. The Bucks finished the season with a record of 32-50. When asked if he played his last game as a member of the Bucks, Giannis told Eric Name of The Athletic, "I don't know. It's not up to me. We'll see." Giannis is eligible to sign a contract extension October 31st. Eric Name joins us in depth coming up at 4:45.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:08.
This report is brought to you by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
In Wisconsin, April is the start of the new year. Let's be honest, we just got through the ups and downs of a Wisconsin winter that included another major snowstorm in March. Winter and not winter season. Welcome to not winter season, full of tailgating, fireworks, festivals, and of course, Siding Unlimited and Outdoor Living Unlimited's open house. This is Eric Brown inviting you to our annual open house. Our open house brings in product reps from Pella and Sunrise Windows, LP Smart Side Siding, Certainty Roofing and Vinyl Siding, not to mention our TimberTech decking representatives, our county pavers representatives, Suncoast Enclosures, the animated pergolas we always talk about, all at one open house on Saturday, April 25th from 9 to 1 p.m. Easy to pop in and still have the rest of your Saturday. Again, Siding Unlimited and Outdoor Living Unlimited's open house on Saturday, April 25th from 9 to 1 p.m. Details at sidingunlimited.com and outdoorlivingunlimited.com. See you there.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
409, happy Monday. I hope you're doing great. John, do you remember last month, Milwaukee's Church of the Jesu was vandalized by a man that had an axe?
Yeah, wasn't it right near Easter?
Very good.
I do remember, yeah.
Yes. So 9 statues were broken, along with 4 vigil candle holders, wooden chairs, kneelers.
Yep.
One of them was historic, a 100-year-old statue of St. Anne. So we're learning more about what happened when police got there. They ended up drawing their guns at him, and we've identified him. He's been arrested and charged with misdemeanor disorderly conduct. He's 50-year-old Aaron Ferris of Green Bay. If you text WATCH to 855-616-1620, WATCH to our side limit talking text line, you can see it right now. Now, okay, he says that God made him go into the church. God told him to bring the axe.
Really?
In his car, he had a gun.
Oh, my. Good thing God told him to leave the gun in the car.
And a second axe.
Oh, good thing God told him to leave that in the car, too.
He said that he was God.
Oh, okay.
Once police confronted him, and that he created everyone. He also said, because he's like swinging this axe.
Yeah, like twirling it.
Yes, twirling it in the air.
When they approached him?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my.
And he said, if you shoot me, the bullet will head towards me and then turn around and go back towards you.
Wow.
Like the Matrix.
If he's God, couldn't he have just opened the door to the church instead of using the axe to chop it down? Just asking. Just
$50,000 in damage.
Oh, my. Okay. Yeah, I saw the pictures.
I don't know.
Did he hurt police? So then eventually was he arrested without issue?
He put it down on the ground.
Okay.
And he also removed 2 knives from his pocket and threw those to the ground.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, flipping it around. The criminal complaint said he was flipping.
Okay.
How do you flip your axe around?
Isn't that dangerous? That implies that you're catching it. You don't want to catch the wrong end of that.
I have so much respect for police.
For sure. Do you know the restraint they had to show? I guess if he would have got up, though, and started towards them, it would have been a different game. But thank goodness that didn't happen.
He also said, quote, in the criminal complaint, do you know who the Incredible Hulk is? Do you know what happens to him when he gets angry?
No.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, my God.
How was he?
Police had to show a lot of restraint.
You could clearly tell that there was some mental issues. If you text WATCH to 855-616-1620, WATCH to our Setting Limit Talk text line, WATCH.
I see him there.
You can see him. His top says, this is his mugshot, I've read the final chapter.
You said his top. Men don't call their tops top.
His blouse?
His shirt.
I'm just kidding.
All right, what does it say? What does his shirt say?
What do I say? His
shirt.
top? His shirt.
No, not his top. What does his shirt say?
I've read the final chapter.
So that's what he was wearing on the day of the incident?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's as is.
Yeah, yeah.
Sans knife. Axe. Could you imagine saying that to police?
No.
I would be dead. Do you know who the Incredible Hulk is?
Yeah.
Do you know what he does when he's angry?
Yeah, no.
And the bullet? Okay, if you shoot me, the bullet will head towards me and turn around and go towards you. That's a threat.
Well, thank God that God decided he should just stay sitting there and that it didn't get much worse.
Me too.
I mean, especially in the church. Thank goodness no one else was there. Like, he didn't encounter somebody.
There were some people there.
And
they
he
called
decided not to hurt him? Apparently.
Okay, so one guy was following him while he had the axe.
Like to tell officials?
And praying towards him out loud.
Okay.
You don't remember this?
If you see a guy with an axe, are you going to follow him and pray out loud towards him?
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm not. Hell no. I might pray for him, but I'm going the other direction and praying. God doesn't only hear prayers if you're close to the person you're praying for.
Oh, my gosh. What if he chopped him?
Right, exactly.
No.
All right, well, thank goodness that didn't happen.
$50,000 in damage.
It is 4:13 at WTMJ. I love this. Our everyday hero up next.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code STATION25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code STATION25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code STATION25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hey, is your son, daughter, maybe grandchild's birthday soon? WTMJ's John Mercure here. Hosting a birthday party is a lot of work. No need to cook and organize, then clean your home. No, don't do that. Especially those little kids with the dirty fingers are going to come to your house. Don't clean that house. Don't clean it at all. How about this? Have your party at the amazing Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford, the area's most affordable birthday party destination. They are professional children fingerprint cleaners at the Mine Shaft. Your party room is free. World-class game room. 70 games, including the easiest ones for your little ones. The pizza party packages are super affordable and include free game room credits. How good is that? Whether your birthday party is for 10 or 50, the Mine Shaft will host that party, or they'll host your birthday event. It'll be the best and easiest birthday party ever. Your kids and grandkids will love you more than ever. They even have the cake. I highly recommend the Mine Shaft restaurant for your next birthday party or business gathering. Reservations are required 2 days in advance. Google the Mine Shaft, Hartford, and click on party planning for details. Birthdays are easy at the Mine Shaft.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Laziga. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John. Southbound on 43, we've got some issues. We've got a crash, actually on the northbound side at Fond du Lac Avenue off on the right shoulder. On the southbound side, we have a disabled vehicle heading into the Marquette as well. So, southbound delays starting from just before Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette and over the high rise. On the northbound side, delays from Kilbourne up past the accident scene at Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up towards Locust. We've also got some big delays along southbound 41 from just south of Main Street all the way to Appleton Avenue. Northbound's backed up before Mayfair Road all the way up past Burleigh, almost to Capitol Drive. And then we have another crash on 894 northbound right at the ramp from Beloit Road. The right shoulder is blocked with that. Looks like everybody's able to get past it without too much of an issue. I'm not seeing too many delays involved with that one. On the southbound side, though, that's just general backups from Beloit Road down and around the Hale to Forest home. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, a tornado watch is in effect for lots of southeast Wisconsin until 10 o'clock. Rain and storms tonight, a low of 60. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, warm, a high of 75. On Wednesday, chance for rain, a high of 62. On Thursday, morning showers, a high of 67. On Friday, partly sunny, a high of 70 degrees. Hope you're having a great Monday. Thanks for starting your week with us as you run your errands or come to or from work. On this Monday, let's recognize another everyday hero. Here's WTMJ's Eric Bilstad.
An everyday hero is when Wisconsin's morning news celebrates an average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning they'd be saving a life. Today, we head to East Texas, Longview, Texas. See, everyday heroes come in all shapes and sizes. Some are even just learning how to read. Take little Jaden, for example, 5 years old. Jaden woke up one night to loud popping sounds and noticed flames in the house. He was one of 6 people sleeping that night, so he decided he had to act. Jaden got up and ran to his aunt's room.
I went in her room and screamed fire.
Yeah, little Jaden screamed fire, telling CBS 19 how he told his Aunt Lulu about it.
He came to my room with his little blanket, and he told me, it's a fire. I said, what? I woke up, he said, it's a fire.
So he got everybody up, and they started to get out of the house. So was Jaden scared?
I didn't be scared, though.
No, you weren't scared.
I wasn't.
His Aunt Lulu says the boy is a miracle.
All I'm thankful for, we all got out. And nobody really got hurt that bad. But yeah, we call him our angel and our hero.
Jaden is a hero. And oftentimes when we hear about our everyday heroes, we hear how humble they are. They didn't do anything special, right? They did what anyone else would have done. Well, how does Jaden react when he's called a hero?
I'm a superhero, too.
That's right, Jaden. You are a superhero, too. Thank you, little Jaden. You are an everyday superhero. Everyday Hero, sponsored by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
It is 4:20 at WTMJ.
When you think about your financial future, it helps to have fee-only fiduciary guidance that puts your interests first. At Annex Wealth Management, you receive comprehensive planning from a team that includes wealth managers, financial planners, and investment specialists working together to support your financial life. Annex's advice is designed to stay aligned with your goals without commissions influencing recommendations. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference. Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lazaga here for Car Edge. Hey, are you tired of the car buying process? Ugh, such a headache. Car Edge negotiates with multiple dealerships for you, scoring you the best deal while you remain completely anonymous. Check out their glowing reviews. One customer emphasized how quickly their Car Edge concierge found the exact car they wanted for the lowest price out of state. Car Edge even took care of shipping the vehicle, and it arrived within a few days in perfect condition with a full tank of gas, which is huge these days. For a limited time, WTMJ fans get 20% off their services. Call 414-667-7413. That's 414-667-7413, or visit caredge.com/WTMJ.
For growing businesses, digital marketing shouldn't be a gamble. If your business needs results, not guesswork, it's time for a different approach. At Margle Media, we deliver real results for businesses in an evolving digital world. Backed by data, guided by strategy, and focused on actionable outcomes. We partner with businesses of all sizes to drive growth locally or nationwide. Set up a free consultation today. Visit us at marglemedia.com. That's MARGLE media.com.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course, rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com.
It's tax season, and by now, I know you're a bit tired of the numbers, but here's an important one you need to hear. $16 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud. Not all grim news. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second for your personal information and alerts you to threats that you could easily miss on your own. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's U.S.-based restoration specialist is going to fix it. Save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK, 1-800-LifeLock or lifelock.com. Terms to apply.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Have you ever heard of the cheeseburger index, Julia?
No.
It's a way that is used to look at the inflation and the economy.
Oh, yeah. For every little piece, like the cheese, what goes up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of the key takeaways in this cheeseburger index is that they look at the most affordable cities for a cheeseburger in the nation. So I have a map in my hand which shows the cost of cheeseburgers in all the major cities in America. And so then what they do is they look at where it's most affordable. So it's a cheeseburger meal. So what they do is they look at the cheeseburger, medium fry, and a medium drink. And they don't look at places like McDonald's or Culver's. So they look at freestanding local establishments.
Cops?
Yeah, yes. Cops would be one. If you went to Sobelman's, that would be one. You know, local places that have burgers. I don't know if like George Webb would be one. Maybe it's local. But this is what they do. So they survey in every city in America, like between 5 and 10 local places, what it costs for a cheeseburger, a medium fry, and a medium drink. And then they rank it. So the cheapest places in America for this cheeseburger meal are Oklahoma City's number 5, 5th cheapest. Fresno is 4th cheapest. Milwaukee is the 3rd cheapest in America. Yay us. Boise is the 2nd cheapest. The number 1 cheapest place for the cheeseburger meal in America, surprised me, it's Austin, Texas. Austin's a great city, and it's not cheap. It's up and coming. It's where the famous music is. It's Yuppieville. It's okay, but they're the cheapest. So Milwaukee comes in at the 3rd cheapest. So I thought that was cool. And then I read what the average is. So the average cost of a cheeseburger in Milwaukee is $15.30 for a cheeseburger meal.
What?
That's not cheap.
No.
Yeah, $15.30. $15.30. I thought that had to be wrong. So I started looking, and I started looking at places in our neck of the woods. And this afternoon, I looked at a bunch of menus and looked at places, and it's between $15 and $20.
So if someone made minimum wage in Wisconsin, they'd have to work more than 2 hours.
That's right.
What?
Okay, but even with that at $15.30, that's the 3rd cheapest. So where are cheeseburgers the most expensive in America?
Hawaii.
I think Hawaii. Nope, it's not Hawaii. You're on the right track, though. It's
Alaska?
not Hawaii. Yes. The most expensive is Anchorage, Alaska.
Ugh.
It costs $27
No.
for a cheeseburger meal in Anchorage, Alaska.
I would become a vegetarian.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably cheaper for like a nice salmon meal in Alaska.
I was thinking maybe the cities would make it a little cheaper because there's so much competition,
Right.
but maybe not.
2nd most expensive is Chula Vista, California. 3rd is Riverside, California. 4th most expensive is Phoenix. The 5th most expensive surprised me. It's Omaha, Nebraska. Omaha, big cattle territory, big beef part of our country.
Oh.
So the most expensive cheeseburger meal in America is in Anchorage. The cheapest is in Austin. And Milwaukee is the 3rd cheapest at number 3.
Well, maybe Nebraska has good taste and they know what type of meat to get.
So it's a good burger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's 4:27 at WTMJ. Coming up the next half hour, this is going to be good. Eric Name of The Athletic takes us inside the Doc Rivers story. Does it make it more likely that Giannis will stay, that Doc is gone? Eric Name with us at 4:45. At 4:35, Lane Grindle, Brewers broadcaster. He'll be with us as well. First, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update on this Monday. Everything in the green big time. The Dow ended up 302 points. That's 0.2%. The NASDAQ was up 280. That's 1.25% today. The S&P 500 closed up 69 points. That's more than 1 full percent. Annex Wealth Management is financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Abby Windows. Is it time to replace your roof? Are you looking for a temporary fix like asphalt or a lifetime one-and-done experience with stone-coated metal roofing? This is not a throwaway product. It's an investment that can save you from an insurance claim. To learn more, call Abby Home today. And if someone asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl. Right now, get 20% off all metal roofing. Go to abbyhome.com or give us a call, 414-436-ABBY, 414-436-2229.
Skylight Music Theater presents A Rockin' Midsummer Night's Dream. Shakespeare's classic story meets an original genre-spanning score in this modern rock and roll musical full of humor, heart, and theatrical mischief. Join me, Sandy Max, for a special Max-experience on April 15th. We will begin having drinks in the Skylight Bar at 6:30 p.m., followed by the performance at 7:30. Purchase tickets for April 15th at skylightmusictheater.org to join me and use promo code SANDY15 for 15% off your ticket. See you there.
Ready for the water? Stop into MW Marine and check out their showroom featuring the 2026 Lund, Ranger, and Vexus boats, all powered by Mercury Outboards. Lock in a great deal early so when summer hits, you're already launching, not waiting. Plus, full boat service and storage. They'll take top-notch care of your rig and get you on the water. MW Marine, your summer starts here.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association, supporting communities and residents through advocacy, education, and service. Where you live matters. Get the answers you and your family need about assisted living in Wisconsin. Start with clear, trusted guidance by visiting whereyouLiveMatters.org today.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, the plan to add more teachers at MPS.
I'm Julia Fellow. A clash between the White House and the Vatican.
I'm Debbie Lazago. Westbound 94, right at the ramp from St. Paul Avenue. We've got a crash with the right lane blocked. That's going to be affecting your ride. It's still going to be pretty heavy all the way to Hawley Road, though. On the eastbound side, backups from about Brookfield Road to Calhoun. Back on the brakes from before 70th Street all the way through to 35th. And then we've also got southbound on 43, backed up from Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette. Northbound has its own problem with an accident on the right shoulder at Fond du Lac Avenue. Delays pretty much through the Marquette interchange all the way up to that scene. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
A tornado watch in effect for Ozaki, Sheboygan, Fond du Lac, Washington, and Dodge counties until 10 o'clock tonight, a low of 60. Tomorrow, warm and humid, a chance of evening thunderstorms, again, a high of 40 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, nearly 90 new teaching positions will be added next year across Milwaukee Public Schools. Superintendent Dr. Brenda Casalia says it's part of a plan to manage and reduce class sizes while building a balanced budget. She tells Wisconsin's Morning News.
To staffing all of those positions because, you know, we have a vacancy problem in our district as well. But want to let the public know that we are ready and wanting to welcome all of the teachers across Wisconsin, across this nation that want to come work for a really amazing school district.
With the addition of more teachers, Casalia says cuts to other areas are necessary to help close a nearly $50 million budget deficit.
A man in custody after arming himself, according to police, with a baseball bat at a youth sporting event.
Franklin police initially responded to reports of gunshots being fired at the Midwest Orthopedic Performance Center around 2:45 Sunday afternoon. It turned out that several people in the crowd got into a fight, and there is no evidence that any gun was fired. Police arrested a 36-year-old man from Illinois on recommended charges of recklessly endangering safety for allegedly arming himself with a baseball bat. One person was treated at the scene for minor injuries. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
The man accused of throwing a Molotov cocktail at the home of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman is now facing federal charges.
Newly unsealed court documents find Texas man Daniel Moreno Gama traveled to San Francisco to allegedly throw a Molotov cocktail at OpenAI CEO Sam Altman's house. The incident was captured on surveillance cam around 4 a.m. Friday. No one was hurt, but the incendiary device did spark a fire at an exterior gate. Federal prosecutors say when they took Moreno Gama into custody near OpenAI headquarters an hour later, they found a document in which he allegedly expressed anti-AI executive sentiments. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Pope Leo is pushing back against President Donald Trump's public attack against him over the weekend. CBS Jared Hill.
The president was asked if he would apologize to the Pope.
No, I don't, because Pope Leo said things that are wrong. He was very much against what I'm doing with regard to Iran, and you cannot have a nuclear Iran.
Pope Leo called the name of the president's social media platform Truth Social ironic and said Trump, who won over a majority of Catholics in the 2024 election, doesn't understand the message of the gospel.
The pontiff has sharply criticized the treatment of migrants under the president and has been a staunch critic of the Iran war.
A Wisconsin election has been decided by a coin flip.
In Outagamie County, last week's race for village trustee in Hortonville had 4 candidates vying for 3 open seats. Shauna Keel and Dalton Davis tied for that final seat with 356 votes each. Per state statute, if 2 or more candidates receive the same amount of votes, the winner must be chosen by a random, unbiased method. They flipped a coin to settle that tie. Keel was given heads and Davis had tails. The result was tails, electing Davis to the 3rd position for village trustee. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Milwaukee Bucks ended their season with a loss to the 76ers, 126-106. And it wraps up Doc Rivers' time as head coach after 3 seasons.
From a coaching perspective, you feel like, the city that you're from, you didn't get the job done. And that is something I carry very heavy with me.
Next up, the NBA draft lottery, which the Bucks will be in May 10th. Still waiting on results for the MRI of Brewers outfielder Christian Yelich with his hamstring, which he injured in the loss against the Nationals yesterday. Brewers get the day off before starting a 3-game series against the Blue Jays at AmFam Field tomorrow.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:35. Lane Grindle up next.
If you're going to put some of your hard-earned profits into advertising, you better do it right, because we know you don't want to waste a dime. If you want ad success, it's not just knowing what to say, it's knowing how to say it. Telling isn't selling, and a message that doesn't sell will waste your money. With thousands of ads of experience, we know what to say and how to say it to get you better results. Go to Anderson-Smith.com's Our Work page to listen and see why we're the guys smart advertisers call to make their ad dollars work harder. We found that whatever kind of ad you decide to run, if it doesn't sell, it's a bad ad. One thing we're pretty good at is digging deep to find what truly sets our clients apart from their competition. And we're always surprised at what we find and have often asked, well, why haven't you been telling the public that? There are things about your business that you aren't telling enough people, and certainly not often enough. We'll fix that. Go to Anderson-Smith.com and hit the Contact Us button, because we help small business advertisers get better results.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ. Now batting for the Brewers Radio Network, play-by-play announcer Lane Grindle.
I think I know where you're going, and it's pretty innovative.
Pitch and a fly ball, deep left field, Lyles back, track, bye, baseball!
You want to talk about athleticism? It's on display in the booth right now.
All right, Lane, how are you, my man?
I'm doing well, enjoying an off day and recharging for the Blue Jays tomorrow.
I like it. What'd you think of those uniforms over the weekend? We all saw the pictures. You saw them on the field. What'd you think?
I have my own version of it.
Oh.
So, yeah, I love them. I think they're great. Look, my thing about living in this state, and I've lived here 10 plus years now, and I always tell everybody summers are undefeated. So the theme of lake life, and I love it, because that's what I think of when I think of anything beyond baseball about living in this great state. So I think it's really cool. As the players have told me, they really like the mango accent color, because it's really fun to accessorize with batting gloves and everything else. So it works out great. I love it. I think it's cool.
That's fun. What's not cool is what happened to Christian Yelich. Do you know the latest on him?
Not anything more than what Pat Murphy said following the game yesterday. I'm sure we'll get an update tomorrow when everybody gets to the ballpark, and we'll find out kind of where that's at. So, unfortunately, it's a little bit of a waiting game. And with an injury like that anyway, it's a bit of a waiting game, because you just really don't know in the immediate aftermath, typically, how severe it is and how long somebody's going to be out. So we'll get I think a better tomorrow from the Brewers when teams back to the ballpark and ready for Game 1 against the Blue Jays.
And Lane, here's Pat Murphy's soundbite you were talking about after the game.
Every team's going to go through this, and it hurts like crazy, but I still like the team. We're most likely going to get some bad news on Yelich to further put us down, if you want to.
That's not good. That's not a good sign, what he was saying.
No, obviously not. Any kind of injury to Christian Yelich is bad news. You don't want that to happen. Now, again, I would just stress that we don't know the severity. We don't know how long, so hamstrings are tricky. So, was Christian able to kind of shut it down ahead of, there was also talk after the game yesterday that he didn't want to come out of the game. So that's kind of encouraging. So we'll just see. I don't know that I have a great feel for where that one's going to land, because I think in the immediate aftermath with things like that, it's hard to know. You usually have to give these things a couple of days, get some imaging done, and have a better read on it later.
Let's ask about a couple guys
missing
that
him for one game is bad news.
Yeah, it is.
Just so we're clear. He's such an important part to this group. He's such a leader for this core. Missing him for one game is bad news. That's how important he is to this organization.
Any updates on Jackson Chourio or Andrew Vaughn? They've been playing pretty well without two big sticks. How are those guys doing?
Yeah. Well, Jackson, I think, is trending in a really good direction. They had a scan on Thursday on his hand, and it is healing at the rate they wanted it to. So it looks like he's trending in a good direction to start swinging a bat soon. They weren't going to release him to start doing that just quite yet as of Thursday, but I think you're going to see him start doing that soon, and then there'll be a little bit of a process to get him ready to be back with the Brewers once that happens. But he's doing a lot of the other things that you can do. He's throwing the baseball. He's running. He's trying to stay as game ready as he possibly can be. Vaughn's going to be a little bit longer, of course. That's probably, I would say, more like a mid-May type of situation for Andrew Vaughn.
Phil Garner, former Brewers manager, big-time big leaguer for many years, passes away at the age of 76, a battle with pancreatic cancer. Lane, give us a little perspective on Phil Garner, what he meant to the game, what he meant to the crew. He's the manager, I think, for 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, a long career with the Brewers. He was the second winningest manager in Brewers history. He was the winningest manager in Brewers history until Craig Counsell passed him up. I think in 2022 is when Craig passed Phil Garner as the winningest manager in Brewers history. Gar or Scrap Iron, depending on how you wanted to reference Phil Garner, was a favorite. When you talk to people that have been with the Brewers for a long period of time, you talk to people like Tony Migliaccio, who is the Brewers clubhouse attendant and has been around for forever. Guys like that will just light up when they talk about Phil Garner and what he meant to the organization and how he treated the people within the organization when he was here. So I never had the privilege of meeting Phil, but I admired him from afar. I admired that Astros team that he took to the World Series as well. So just a tremendous man with a great baseball legacy that he'll leave behind.
Lane, on this off day, are you grilling out for dinner? Are you taking the family out? What are you doing?
That's the plan. I'm getting ready to. I'm hoping the rain holds off, but the plan is to just grill some burgers and brats and do nothing crazy. Just kind of have a little fun, enjoy the family, and we don't have a ton of kids activities tonight. We still have some because there's always some, but it's not as packed of a schedule as normal, which is good too.
All right, Lane lives not far from me, so
I was going to say,
Julia, how about you and I? We stop over, we swoop up Matzik. He's right there too, and then we'll be over for those burgers and brats, Lane.
You don't even have to swoop up Matzik. You can just whistle, and he'll hear you, and he'll just wander over.
That's true. We'll go to Lane's, and then Matzik will just walk through their backyards over to Lane's house.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Lane, have a great rest of the day. Thanks for always being good to us.
You bet. Appreciate it.
It is 4:43 at WTMJ. Debbie helps get you home up next.
Leading a nonprofit takes more than heart. It takes the right leader with the skills, experience, and passion to move your mission forward. Vince Vitrano here for Spano Pratt. They focus exclusively on nonprofit executive searches, from discovering high-caliber candidates to rigorous assessment and selection to engaging and aligning your board of directors throughout the process. Spano Pratt doesn't just fill roles. They help you find leaders who truly align with your purpose and mission. SpanoPratt.com.
Need help but don't know where to turn? Contact 211 Wisconsin today. Whether it's finding food, housing assistance, mental health support, help with addiction, or more, 211 Wisconsin is available for free 24/7 to connect you with thousands of local programs and services. Dial 211 on your phone. You can also chat with a specialist on 211wisconsin.org or install the 211 app. Help is closer than you think. Sponsored by 211 Wisconsin.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. Do you love the way your home looks? When you pull in, do you think, wow, the old homestead looks fantastic? Or do you notice that the siding's all faded and the roof is kind of falling apart? Well, Tri-County Contracting can help make it look the way you truly want it and make you love it. The website is tricountycontractingwi.com. It's roofing, siding, and windows that'll make you love your home again. TriCountyContractingWI.com.
So, Dad, what gives with the square pizzas? Well, Marty wanted to be different, but little did he know that he was giving everyone a real value. We figured it out. Our 12-inch square pizza covers 27% more space than a 12-inch round. A bigger pizza and a better value. Yep, 27% more. Marty's Pizza in Delafield. And martyspizza.net for easy online ordering. Register online for Red Card Loyalty, and after 15 pizzas, you'll get your next one free!
Marty's Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember Marty's Pizza.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors of Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything in recreation. This week, we're less than a month away from fishing season. We talked to Aaron Schiller from the Wisconsin DNR, and our storyteller in residence, Dusty Weiss, joins us all fishing, except for the bikes. They're coming. It's spring.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Traffic is sponsored by Burghardt Sporting Goods, the Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center. Burghardt Sporting Goods. Visit them today in New Berlin.
Let's get you where you need to safely with Debbie Lazaga.
Well, southbound on 43, we still got some backups coming in from about Keefe all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. On the northbound side, we do have a crash right at the ramp from Fond du Lac Avenue off on the right shoulder. We also have a crash westbound 94 at St. Paul Avenue. The right lane is blocked right now, so that's going to be tying things up. We got delays past that all the way to Hawley Road. Eastbound's backing up from just before 70th Street to 35th, and southbound on 894 backups out of the Zoo interchange down towards Lincoln, and then more delays from Beloit Road down and around the Hale interchange to 92nd Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, your local experts for roofing, siding, and window projects.
A tornado watch in effect right now for Ozaukee, Sheboygan, Fond du Lac, and Dodge counties until 10 o'clock tonight. Be weather aware, a low of 60. Tomorrow, warm and humid. A chance of evening thunderstorms are likely, a high of 40. Then, on Wednesday, a chance of rain and thunderstorms, a high of 62. Thursday, showers continue in the morning. Then it will be partly cloudy, a high of 67. For your Friday, it'll be sunny, a high of 70 degrees. Right now, Milwaukee at 68 degrees and cloudy.
We are joined by the Athletics. Eric Name. Nobody covers the Bucks like Eric does. Eric, thank you so much for being with us.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
I want to ask you, I guess, with so many things to talk to you about. The season is now over for the Bucks. Let's start with Doc Rivers. That's what people are talking about. Give us some insight. Do you believe maybe you know. Was this Doc's decision? Was it the Bucks' decision? Was it truly collaborative, if that's the right word?
I think it was. I think you look at this last 2.5 years. Obviously, Doc, his name hangs in the rafters at Fiserv Forum. Like, this was a kind of a beautiful homecoming for him, where he got to be back in Milwaukee. He got to, be in a city that he's very fond of, and hopefully try to win a second NBA championship with two really good players in Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Obviously, Dame has been hurt, and then he was waived and stretched before the season, and Giannis has struggled with injuries as well. And it just didn't work the way that that everyone wanted it to work. And I think over the last couple of weeks, Doc has really mentioned the fact that, he is getting up there in age. He does want to be a good, grandfather. He wants to see his grandkids. He wants to do more of that. Before the game yesterday, he had kind of joked like, it's time to get out when you start seeing the kids of the guys you coached earlier in your career now in the NBA. It's time to go. Like, you don't need to hang around anymore. So I think Doc was ready to not maybe have the stresses of being an NBA head coach. And I think the Bucks are ready for a new direction as well. And I think this is a good way to bring it together and kind of make a collaborative decision. But obviously, Doc is still going to get his money from the contract that he signed. He's not giving any of that back. So that sounds more like what would happen in a firing than someone stepping down.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally. Take me behind the scenes. I mean, this is a lot of money for the Bucks.
Sure.
You think it was a firing?
Yeah, I mean, I would lean into that as well. Like, just if you are truly stepping down in those situations, you give money back, and Doc is not giving any of that money back. And maybe it does end up being, it is time for me to go. I'm okay with it. And I do think these two parties have, put together a great relationship and a great partnership. So it's not like they're bad terms as he leaves. In fact, we reported at The Athletic last night that the Bucks would still like him to serve in like an advisor role. I think Doc would probably prefer to take a break instead of still working a lot. But there's still that possibility that they can make that work out as they are still paying him for the next year. Right.
Right, exactly.
And obviously he's been in the game for a very long time. So he has a lot of insight. He has a lot of knowledge. He knows a lot of people. He could be a useful tool in a different role for the Bucks as opposed to what he's been doing as a head coach. So again, I do think there's a mixture of all of it, whether it's a firing and a stepping down. I think both parties are happy with where it ended, and now the Bucks have to find a new head coach.
The Athletics' Eric Name is with us. I'm intrigued by the Giannis part of this. Giannis says he didn't know it was coming. I believe it. Let's take him at face value, right? But with that said, Eric, the conversation now begins in earnest. What happens to Giannis? Does Giannis stay? Is there any chance of that happening? Is he already gone? My question related to Doc and all of that is, all right, maybe Giannis wasn't consulted, but John Horst would know if Giannis would support this decision or if Giannis would scream about it. Do you think that was a factor in what happened to Doc?
Yeah, I mean, I think Giannis is not upset about Doc no longer being the head coach. It wasn't working, and I would say throughout the season I wrote up quite a bit about how tactically I didn't think Doc met the moment. The game doesn't ever pass you by, but there's just things that, older coaches might not prioritize in the same way as younger coaches, more innovative coaches might. And I just didn't think Doc kind of met that moment. And with Giannis, it's always going to be about contending for titles. And if you have a coach that tactically isn't where they need to be, then I don't think he's going to be all that upset that coach is no longer there. So I would say Giannis is not going to be upset about this decision. They do still need to figure out, obviously, who that next coach is. And also, like you said, is Giannis going to be here or not?
Yeah, who's next now that Doc's in our rearview mirror?
It's a great question. I think one thing that we've learned over the years, you got to use a little NFL knowledge. Jimmy Haslam also owns the Cleveland Browns, and the Bucks have done this with Jimmy as an owner once before in 2023. Both of those searches, any Cleveland Browns search and the Bucks search, exhaustive. It is a long list. So they will go through and they will take their time on it, and they will try to interview as many candidates as possible. I think in 2023, I would have to go back and look at the numbers, but I believe his double-digit candidates came in for our first interview. We still might have been doing like Zoom, but whatever. Either way, first interviews, you're in the double digits. That's a lot of people to actually give the time to interview and talk to and like commit to that level. Obviously, the list gets narrowed down after that. So it'll be exhaustive. 2 names that stick out to me. It's guys that have Milwaukee connections. I would say personally, I believe the Phoenix Suns are having a great year. They are coached by a first-time head coach in Jordan Ott. He was a longtime assistant, younger guy, and they've been great this year. I think that opens up the door for other guys that are first-time head coaches, that are younger assistant coaches. The top guy on that list is a guy named Sean Sweeney. Sean Sweeney was Jason Kidd's defensive coordinator when Jason Kidd was the head coach in Milwaukee. That would have been about 10 years ago. And that he was very young at that point. So he's been in the league for a while. He's built up into a spot where now he's the associate head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. Obviously, the Spurs are having a great year with Victor Wembanyama. Sweeney is among the most highly respected people out there. And I talked to a scout earlier this year, and he had said that I think Jordan Ott crawled so Sean Sweeney can walk, or walked and then crawled, whatever that saying is. But it was largely Jordan Ott did it, so Sean Sweeney can be the next one. And then the other guy I would say is Taylor Jenkins. Taylor Jenkins was an assistant coach for Mike Budenholzer 6 years ago. He was a head coach for the Memphis Grizzlies. He got let go. I would say he's, of the guys on the market that are previous head coaches, I'd say he's the top guy on the market. And those are the types of guys that are going to want to come to Milwaukee. Like the opportunity, if Giannis is still here, to coach Giannis is something that will attract anyone to this job.
I feel like this has only helped the possibility that Giannis stays. It might not be enough for Giannis to stay, but it hasn't hurt it, to what you kind of were alluding to earlier. Give us your take. You're closer to this team than anybody. As we sit here today in the middle of April, what are the chances, do you believe, Giannis stays a Buck?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're looking at 50-50. And largely I say that because one of the things that we've heard from ownership, they kind of put together an ultimatum where they said either, Giannis is going to sign the extension or he's going to get traded. The next extension Giannis can sign, he's not eligible to sign until October 1st. October 1st is a long ways away.
Yeah.
And the Milwaukee Bucks are not going to sit on their hands for the next 6 months. They are going to start making moves to put themselves in position to do whatever it is that they want to do. So while the ultimatum has been placed in Giannis's court, let's say, I think this is a decision that the Milwaukee Bucks are going to make. They're going to have to decide, do we want to keep doing this? Do we want to keep trying to contend with Giannis, or do we want to rebuild and go in a different direction? It is up to them. And I know people bristle at that because we're so used to superstars being in control. And I think one thing that you could see in the final 15 games of the season when Giannis wanted to play and the organization wouldn't let him, he ain't in control anymore. It isn't Giannis's decisions to make across the board. The organization's in charge, and they're going to have to decide what it is that they want to do next. So that's why I say it's 50-50. If the Bucks go out and put together a great roster and he's still in the roster on October 1st, I think there's a high likelihood that he signs it. But I don't know what they will do before that.
It's fascinating. I mean, does he have a big voice in who the next coach is? Do they dangle carrots for Giannis? You have a say in who the coach is. Giannis, how cool would it be if both your brothers play next year? Because that's not going to happen anywhere else. Right. Are those kind of the carrots that they have if they decide that they want to keep Giannis?
I mean, I think more than anything, Giannis wants to win. This is the first time covered the Bucks at The Athletic for 8 years. First 7 years I covered them in the playoffs, contending. Whether or not they actually could win it, they didn't, other than 1 year. But they had a chance, and this year they didn't. That chance never existed, and that is all that matters to Giannis. I think from the start of the season, it was tough to see their path to contention, and as the season went on, it got further and further away, and nothing was done to get them back on the path of contention. So if this year, or this offseason, they go out and make a bunch of moves and put him back on that path, let's go. Let's do it again.
It's fun to think about. Your writing is fantastic. Your depth is incredible. Eric Name is with The Athletic. Eric, thank you so much for always making time for us.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
It is 4:57 at WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Get 0% interest until 2030. Order by April 30th at PellaWI.com. Wisconsin weather doesn't ease you into spring, it keeps you guessing. One day it's sunshine, the next it's wind, rain, or even snow. That's why your windows and doors have to handle everything in every season. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we design with that in mind. Built for durability, efficiency, and year-round comfort. And right now, we're making that comfort easier to afford. Order today and get 0% interest until 2030. Not just for a short time, no interest all the way until 2030. So you can upgrade your home now and pay over time without even paying a dime in interest. From your free in-home consultation to expert installation, Pella's local team is with you every step, helping you find the right fit for your home, your style, and your budget. Plus, with our 10-year limited warranty, you'll have peace of mind long after installation date. No interest until 2030, but only if you order by April 30th. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 4/30/2026.
John Mercure here for Griffin's Hub Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Milwaukee. If you've been thinking about a Jeep, this is the place to go. Griffin's Hub has an incredible lineup, including the Jeep Wrangler, America's legend, available in both 2-door and 4-door, and the Jeep Grand Cherokee and Grand Cherokee L, perfect for families who still want that rugged capability. Check out the 2026 Jeep Compass. Your Compass definitely points to Griffin's Hub on South 27th Street. I've shopped at Griffin for a long time. They make it easy. I've had my service done at Griffin for a very long time. They make it easy. It's affordable. They'll even roll out a mobile repair unit right to your driveway. I've done that. Piece of cake. Had recall work done. Didn't even have to take the vehicle into the dealership. At Griffin's Hub, they've got hundreds of vehicles in stock right now, something for every lifestyle. Service department open long hours. Stop in and see why so many people, myself included, keep going back. Griffin's Hub.
2026 Brewers Group tickets are on sale now, and planning your next event at American Family Field has never been easier. Whether it's a company outing, family reunion, or night out with friends, bring your group of 15 or more to the ballpark and enjoy up to 25% off single game tickets with no service fees. All Brewers home games are available now. Start planning today, and a Brewers Group ticket rep will handle the rest. But hurry, tickets are moving fast. Plan your 2026 outing at brewers.com/groups.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests. That's WTMJ.com/contests. For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, new details about a sexual assault at Milwaukee's Intermodal Station.
I'm Julia Fellow. Security updates after an incident at a Girl Scout camp.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Southbound on 43, still going to be a slow ride from just south of Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. You're back on the brakes from Beecher all the way down to the KK River crossing. On the northbound side, we're still dealing with a crash on the right shoulder at Fond du Lac Avenue. Delays coming up from Fond du Lac all the way up past North Avenue to about Burleigh. And then westbound 94, we've got backups from 27th Street to Hawley Road, eastbound from 70th Street all the way to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Tornado watch is in effect for Ozaki, Sheboygan, Fond du Lac, Washington, and Dodge counties until 10 o'clock. Rain tonight, a low of 60. Tomorrow, warm with a chance for afternoon storms, a high of 75. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a man now faces felony charges for climbing over a bathroom stall in the Milwaukee Intermodal Station and allegedly sexually assaulting a stranger.
Station security told investigators they found the man assaulting a woman on the bathroom floor. One of the guards then fired a single shot that didn't hit anyone before the man, identified in a complaint as Cephas Johnson, was arrested. The complaint notes the alleged station assault was the second incident in under 12 hours involving Johnson, who is also accused of assaulting a different woman outside a Wisconsin Avenue bar. He also allegedly told investigators if released, he would, quote, kill women. Downtown Alderman Bob Bauman is now calling on the state DOT to increase station security. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Milwaukee Police first quarter data shows overall crime is down about 8% compared to this time last year. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson.
We're seeing double-digit percentage drops in robberies, in auto thefts, in arsons, in assaults, in carjackings, and non-fatal shootings when compared to this time last year. Now, we're keeping a very careful eye on burglaries and thefts because those numbers have unfortunately shown a small increase.
And Mayor Johnson says the city will also continue to monitor homicides, which remain near the same level as last year.
Girl Scout Camp Silverbrook is updating security after an incident on the grounds.
The updates come after 48-year-old Paul David, who was living on the grounds with his wife who worked at the camp, was caught with firearms and drugs in the home that were in reach of the couple's 2 children. Girl Scouts of Wisconsin says the charges are related to an isolated domestic dispute. The organization says they're using the incident to update security protocols, including increased sheriff's office and DNR patrols, a restraining order against David, further screenings and background checks for individuals over 14, and stricter storage guidelines. David's wife is no longer employed with Girl Scouts. Elizabeth Linton in WTMJ News.
The president held an impromptu news conference outside the Oval Office today, answering questions about the Strait of Hormuz blockade. News Nation's Hannah Brandt.
He confirmed that the blockade did take effect at 10 a.m. this morning. The president says that the purpose of all of this is to ramp up economic pressure on Iran. The president also noting that there are tankers coming towards the U.S. This is something we've heard him say over the past couple of days, that they're coming to the U.S. to fill up on our oil, suggesting that that's kind of a workaround for the Strait of Hormuz.
The president warned on social media that Iranian warships that come anywhere close to the U.S. blockade will be destroyed.
Coming up, the Brewers look to get back on track.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:04.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. Look, this time of year, it can be tough to find a place where you can really get out and enjoy time with your dog, right? That's exactly why the Hounds and Tap has become our go-to family spot. State-of-the-art, indoor-outdoor dog park and tavern. Dogs can hang out and socialize, you relax, catch a game, and enjoy a drink, maybe some food from a food truck. Incredible staff, clean space, it's safe, our dog loves it. A year-round destination for dogs and humans. Plan a visit to the Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls. Connect with thehoundsandtap.com.
Hi, this is Julie Coombs and Cindy Stormfisher with Stormfisher Investment Group. Are you a retiring professional? Worried about the direction of our economy? About making your money last? Come see what we can do for you. Let us show you how we take care of you to help you have a great retirement. We are at 262-796-8400 or stormfisher.com. See you soon.
Securities offered through Osaic Wealth Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Osaic Advisory Services LLC. Osaic Advisory. Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory are separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, and services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth and Osaic Advisory.
Hi, this is Brittany from the Neal Group with today's tax tip. Remember to keep receipts and documents to support the numbers on your tax return. Also, keep a copy of the return you filed. The IRS has 3 years to audit your tax return and ask you for proof of a deduction or income claimed. The state of Wisconsin has 4 years. Lack of substantiation could result in not only additional tax due, but also interest and penalties imposed on the additional tax due. Imagine having to pay an additional 20% or more in penalties plus interest for 2 or 3 years. For more tips, or if you have questions, visit nealgroup.net or call 414-325-2040. That's nealgroup.net.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Brewers are waiting on the results of an MRI that will determine how much time Christian Yelich will miss with a hamstring injury suffered during Sunday's loss to the Nationals. The homestand continues for Murphy's crew, manager Pat Murphy's crew, tomorrow night against the Blue Jays. After 3 seasons with the Bucks, head coach Doc Rivers is done. The Bucks finished the season 32-50. When asked if he's played his last game as a member of the Bucks, Giannis tells Eric Name of The Athletic, "I don't know. It's not up to me. We'll see." Giannis is eligible to sign a contract extension October 1st.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:07.
Experience an auto show like never before. The Milwaukee Auto Show hits the road with new dates and a new easy access, easy to park location. Clear your calendar. May 14th through 17th at the Wisconsin State Fair Park and Expo Center. Whether shopping or just dreaming, you'll see sleek luxury cars to rugged trucks and everyday favorites. Hundreds of new vehicles. May 14th through 17th at the Wisconsin State Fair Park and Expo Center. AutoShowMilwaukee.com.
I didn't want my kids spending their weekends fixing my gutters or worrying if I was okay. Hi, this is Arvid. At Capri Communities, I have new friends, fun activities, and a safe, maintenance-free home. My children get peace of mind, and I get to enjoy life to the fullest. It's the best gift I could give them and myself.
Give the care that has your parent enjoying life again at Capri Communities. Get started today at capricommunities.com.
Kessler's Diamonds, Kessler's Diamonds.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
All right, hope your Monday's going fantastic. Glad that you were here with us. It's always a good day on the show when we get to talk about invasive carp. It's even a better day when Adam Roberts is leading the conversation. He is with us in the studio. Adam?
Words I don't think I've ever heard before.
True.
But yes, we are talking invasive Asian carp on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. So you may recall about a month ago, I was on the show and we talked about this topic at that time because President Trump had met just recently with the governor of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer, and posted on Truth Social saying it's time to keep Asian carp from getting into Lake Michigan. Actually, in the post, he said they were already there without any evidence to that fact.
Right.
And from what I've seen, that is not the case. Well, fast forward a month later, a note on this, little peg to the story here. A Wisconsin company is going to be working on a project in Illinois that is trying to keep the fish out of the lake. You may have heard of the Brandon Road Project. It's near Joliet, just south of there. It's a big lock and dam project. There's a lot of elements to it. Essentially, they're using bubbles and sound and all these different mechanisms to keep the fish out of the lake. Well, J.F. Brennan, which is based out of La Crosse, Wisconsin, just received a contract, about $113 million to that effect, to help work on this project. Meanwhile, the project on a whole is basically in question at this point because 9 figures of funding that was already allocated for this earlier during the Biden administration is now on hold because the president late last year said it needs to be put through an administrative review. We are now in April, and that review seemingly is still ongoing. Governor Tony Evers, after being called out, not in name, but just as a group of all Great Lakes governors, come on in and help me, by the president, wrote a letter to the president on Friday saying it's been delayed for months with no clear reason, and that's where we sit right now. This project, again, has been delayed for many, many months. And in fact, here's a clip of U.S. Senator Dick Durbin of Illinois talking on that effect.
On January 15th of this year, I led a letter with Senator Duckworth, my colleague from Illinois, and the Michigan senators, asking the Trump administration to lift this review and pause so that we can get going forward with this project. We still have not received a response to that letter.
So that was back in January. I did a little digging onto how the funding is broken down. So $274 million is what's been federally allocated. It's already been approved by Congress. The total project cost, north of $1 billion. Of that $274 million, about $225 is connected to President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law, which we have seen President Trump walk back. Think here in Milwaukee, the 6th Street reconstruction project. A lot of that was tied to President Biden's BIL dollars. That project is now also indefinitely on hold. So there's some parallels to see here.
What would the sounds be to annoy the carp?
I had wondered that as well. So it's according to the Army Corps of Engineers, who I did reach out to for more information, it basically is labeled as an acoustic deterrent. So think anything that causes any sort of underwater vibration. I openly speculated that maybe since it's a La Crosse-based company, you could play just gas station TV audio, and that'll scare all the fish away.
Do you think that the bubbles would be so when they have babies that the little eggs would be disturbed or something?
Maybe it's just a disruption. Maybe it's just I think the audio is like a big scary voice saying, "I like to eat big fish. I like to eat big fish."
It's going to upset everybody.
Yeah, it's interesting. They've had documented problems in Illinois. They have got to get this figured out. They've gone past the barriers in many spots.
And just to clarify again, there has been no documentation of carp in any of the Great Lakes as well as Lake Michigan, but they've been very close. And this stream downstream is one of those areas where they conglomerate a lot. So More to come on this, but as of right now, the work seems to be in limbo.
All right. WTMJ's Adam Roberts. Adam, thank you.
Of course.
Everything at Menards. Brighten up your garage or workspace with a 6,000 lumen 3-panel LED light from GT Light. It's over 7 times brighter than traditional incandescent light bulbs and features 3 adjustable panels, allowing you to shine light where you need it most. Save big on GT Light LED utility bulbs. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Connect Chiropractic, the best in the business. Thursdays are my Connect day. As a matter of fact, this past Thursday, I not only had my adjustment, which is always nuanced and easy and gentle, I had an evaluation. Here's what I like at Connect. Every 6 months, they evaluate me. They give me a new scan. They look at how my spine is doing. They look at how my muscles are working. And then we decide how often I need to go. They're not just locking me into, you need to be here every week. It's not how it works at Connect. They're gentle. They're focused. It's a focus on long-term health for your entire body. Connect with Connect.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scafidi.
And Kristen Bry of Point Taken.
What's more important than having a special needs child turning 18 who needs guardianship?
Or helping aging parents plan for long-term care.
Thankfully, the attorneys at Walney Legal Group can help with both.
No intimidating lawyers, Walney Legal provides a customized, friendly experience to help make these processes as straightforward and streamlined as possible.
So whether you're planning for aging parents
or establishing a strong legal foundation for a special needs child, visit WALNYlegal.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Rich Top Exteriors and Capital Heating and Cooling. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. Yet at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Traffic is sponsored by Marty's Pizza in Delafield.
Remember, Marty's Pizza.
Right off I-94 and Highway 83 in Delafield.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb.
Hey there. We've got a few issues going on right now, not the least of which we do have an accident. We had an accident right around the St. Paul Avenue area that had a lane closed on 94 westbound. It looks like that one got cleared. However, the off-ramp to 35th Street is closed because of some police activity just off of 35th Street. They've also closed the eastbound off-ramp to 35th Street as well. So you want to try and stay away from those areas. Otherwise, backups westbound starting around 27th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Eastbound is slowing down from about 70th Street all the way through to 35th. We've got an issue along southbound southbound 894 from about Oklahoma Avenue. It's going to be a heavy ride all the way down through the Hale interchange to 92nd Street, right in the middle of the Hale interchange, getting onto 894 eastbound. There is a broken down vehicle, so that's not the best place in the world to have a broken down vehicle. You want to be careful going through that area. We also have on northbound 41, right about at Hampton Avenue, an accident off on the right shoulder. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
A tornado watch is in effect for much of southeast Wisconsin, runs until 10 o'clock tonight. It's Fond du Lac, Sheboygan, Ozaukee, Washington, and Dodge counties. Going to rain tonight, a low of 60 degrees. Tomorrow, cloudy, warm. Afternoon showers tomorrow, and there's a moderate chance of severe weather tomorrow, a high of 75. On Wednesday, rain, a high of 62. Thursday, rain, a high of 67. Friday, partly sunny, a high of 70 degrees.
517 on WTMJ. Home Depot is getting some major flack for what they are displaying right now for sale. We're 201 days out. Yeah. Halloween decorations.
What? We're not even really into spring.
I know.
Are you serious?
What about the 4th of July?
No doubt. What about Memorial Day? 4th of July.
So this is what they have out. They have a 4.5-foot grave and bones color changing LED light. Really weird demon bunny for sale.
Oh my gosh. Come on.
Yeah.
It's April.
A gross clown with a long neck.
Do they really?
There's the T-Rex.
Come on.
Kind of like those things that you can do spotlights onto your house. The little LED things.
Yeah.
I mean, full-on decorations.
Oh, my gosh. Come on.
What is that where you do like the fog? They're selling that?
Yeah. Okay, so under this theory, if they have those out now, that means in June, are they going to have the Christmas stuff out?
Okay, so this is called Halfway to Halloween decorations.
Oh.
We are halfway to Halloween
Yeah.
collection. I think it's way too early.
That's awful.
Do
I
you
don't like
like
that
this
at all.
kind of stuff, like the hearse and a skeleton?
No, I don't like that in general.
That's so morbid.
It's terrible, gross looking. But even happy Halloween stuff now? Why now?
Trying to make money.
That's way too early. Does it work? Or does it tick people off? If right now, if you're in the store,
it's ticking me off, but
do you buy it? Well, you wouldn't, but
they're
do people?
urging people. I don't know. The whole thing with the marketing is that they're urging people to plan now for Halloween.
Stupid.
Wouldn't you plan for your outfit, not the outside of your home? I guess if you're really into trick or treating.
So when would be the appropriate time to start selling Halloween decorations? It's
August.
October 31st. Yeah, that sounds right to me too.
So early.
Middle of August, maybe for Labor Day, I guess is okay, right?
It's
But-
the end of October too.
Right. This is more than 6 months away.
They're getting greedy.
Yeah.
They're getting really greedy.
It's 519 at WTMJ.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Homebuyer Helper Brian Wickert. One of our senior loan consultants recently helped their first-time homebuyer client win over 13 other offers. Of course, it was a team effort with their buyer's agent, and it centered around helping our clients understand what little difference there was to their monthly payment to offer over the asking price. And again, what little difference it would make to give the sellers peace of mind that they'd still buy even if the appraisal came in up to $20,000 short. But that's not all. Our consultant also texted and called the listing agent to reinforce how well qualified our buyers were and that they could, in fact, still close even if the appraisal came in low. Your Accunet consultant will help you understand your options so you can decide how aggressive you want to be. Then we do everything possible to help you win. Don't let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Know your options and get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Redo Cabinets. The kitchen is the heart of the home. Transform it at a fraction of the cost of a complete rebuild. Are you sick of looking those tired cabinets? You can book and order what you want to reface your cabinets with, like a new color, new trims, crown molding, or a backsplash to add. Their experienced staff will get it done fast. After you pick everything out, they'll be in and out of your home within a week, 7 days. You don't have to suffer months waiting for the heart of your home to be done with construction. No. And ever dream of a new kitchen island? Redo Cabinets can do that too. All of the materials are made right here in the USA, right in Ohio. And Redo Cabinets has family-owned roots for more than 7 decades. This is the way everyone should remodel their home. Head to redocabinets.com. That's redocabinets.com or call 414-677-6417. That's 414-677-6417.
For 176 years, St. Vincent de Paul Society of Milwaukee has been neighbors helping neighbors, working to eliminate poverty and hunger with compassion and dignity. When families face hard times, our volunteers step in. Over 600 trained volunteers ready to meet people where they're at, in their homes. And that's what our Neighbors Helping Neighbors home visit program is all about. Volunteers travel in pairs, listening first, then offering personalized support. They provide families and individuals with things like furniture, beds, food, clothing, and connect them to vital community resources. Help that provides stability during challenging times. These home visits don't just address an immediate need, they help create a safer, more stable future for our families and individuals in our community. Last year alone, St. Vincent de Paul Society volunteers completed nearly 11,000 home visits across Milwaukee County, serving those who need us most. Together, we are neighbors helping neighbors. To learn more about our mission or get involved, visit svdpmilw.org.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on
is the Milwaukee Marathon. And it makes me sad. I don't take any pleasure in saying this, but my goodness, what are you people doing over there? So the Milwaukee Marathon just took place. And if you are in the marathon, you get a medal. It's one of the coolest parts about running the marathon. You get the bib with your number that you get to keep.
Yes.
And you get a medal. You get a medal. Well, guess what? Runners in the Milwaukee Marathon got their medals and realized that there's a missing letter. It's misspelled. The medal was issued to all runners and has a big spelling error in it.
Marathon, the actual event.
They misspelled the word marathon. Okay, so the medal says MKE in the middle. It's pretty cool. It's got an MKE in the middle. Mm-hmm. On the top, it's supposed to say Milwaukee Marathon. Instead, it says Milwaukee Marathon. They left the second A off.
Was right. It says the same thing on the top and the bottom.
Right. So they misspelled the word marathon on the medal. Race organizers, when they were told about this by some racers who said, you're going to order new ones, right? We're going to get new medals that are correct. They said, no, we're not doing that. Instead, they tried to make a joke about it. Race organizers said, a letter clearly went missing somewhere between the start and the finish line of production, making these medals unintended collector's editions.
No, that's not funny, and it's wrong, and it's putrid.
What it does is it makes us a laughing stock. It makes us an embarrassment. It makes us just look absolutely terrible. By the way, this is the same group that has had many, many, many problems. If you text the word watch right now, you can see the medal. Watch to 855-616-1620. Text the word watch, you can see the medal misspelled. In 2016, runners ran the race. They qualified for Boston. It was a big deal for many of them. And then they came to learn out that the race course was too long, and so the time didn't count. They couldn't go to Boston.
Okay, I was there at the finish line. And this one woman, she was trying to qualify to go to Boston and then the Olympics. And she didn't make the time by just mere seconds. And she was in her husband's arms going,
Of course.
Oh, my God.
Well, here's what's worse, though. The course was too long. So people ran too long and finished. And still, if they ran that and they ran fast enough, even though they ran more than they were supposed to, they didn't qualify. So guess what? That was a big deal, like you just described.
Awful.
In 2017, they had the distance wrong again. They had it marked short by almost a mile. It happened 2 years in a row. Massive backlash from everybody. They've had multiple organizers at this thing. It started in 2015. In 2018, it was canceled because of issues. In 2020, It was canceled because of issues.
Yep.
In 2021, it was canceled. In 2022, it was canceled. In 2023, it was canceled. The COVID year, 2020, they canceled the marathon and then refused to offer refunds and said, you can get 20% off a future race. And then the next 3 years, it was canceled.
The numbskulls that did the race that was too long as well, when we're waiting for the racers to finish.
Yeah.
They're from California. No offense to California. But they were pointing at the cheese curds that were for sale and all the bad, unhealthy things, the vendors. And they're like, ugh, this state, this city. Go away. What was that?
Stop it.
What
Stop it,
is
California.
that medal?
Go back to California.
Bye. Yeah, get your mileage right.
By the way, it's called the Milwaukee Marathon. It barely goes through Milwaukee. Race organizers have decided that they don't want to disrupt downtown. They don't want to pay for police to alter the traffic. So instead of showcasing the city, they run it through the Milwaukee suburbs at the wrong distances with a misspelled medal, and they call it the Milwaukee Marathon. So much to be proud of.
I would like, which one would you want? The course too long, too short, or the bad medal? I want the too short.
Yeah, that's definitely the way to go.
I feel really good.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, I ran faster than I thought. Oh, it was almost a whole mile too short.
I'd rather run longer than get that ugly medal this year.
The medal is terrible. How does that happen? I mean, right? If anybody's ever ordered anything like this, you have to approve of it ahead of time. And I can't believe it was a mistake on the part of the people making it without approval, or Milwaukee Marathon people would be demanding that we get new ones. Instead, they're saying, oh, sorry. It's a fun little thing. Good luck, everybody. By the way, there is another marathon in Milwaukee, the Lakefront Marathon. Don't want to be confused. We're talking about the Milwaukee Marathon, which barely runs in Milwaukee. It's 5:27 at WTMJ. Let's check out the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow was up 301. The NASDAQ was up 280. The S&P was up 69 points. A nice start to the day. Annex Wealth Management, financial planning at every level. Know the difference with Annex.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, our weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market, how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. And it's sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Joining us today is Jeff Salazinski, Executive Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, the employee benefits insurance market gets more complex every day.
Thank you, Vince. Great to be here. I'd like to start today with another question for every business owner or individual that provides employee benefits insurance to their associates. Do you really understand how your plan is performing? Is the plan structure optimized, and is this confirmed by the data and analytics that you receive from your broker?
Why are these the key questions, Jeff?
Employee benefit cost escalation is top of mind for business owners today. Data and analytics should be guiding your program design and your cost mitigation efforts. Ask yourself, is your current employee benefits offering delivering the desired outcomes you expressed when the plan was put in place? More importantly, do your employees view your plan as a true benefit of employment? Are your employees educated on how to get the most out of their plan? And is your executive team making data-driven decisions as it relates to employee benefits plan design? If you're uncertain in your answer, you should talk to R&R Insurance.
So what's the message here, Jeff, if a buyer doesn't have answers to these questions?
Having a competitive employee benefits plan can help distinguish you as an employer of choice. Make the time to have a real, meaningful employee benefit discussion with a member of our team.
So why should a business or individual work with R&R Insurance?
Our team of insurance professionals have protected business and designed competitive employee benefit programs for over 50 years. If you're looking for a better insurance purchasing experience, we'd love to speak with you. At R&R Insurance, we know employee benefits insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Traffic is sponsored by MW Marine. Get out on the water.
MW Marine.
Ready for the water? Shop 2026 Lund, Ranger, and Vexus boats powered by Mercury. Lock in your deal now and hit the water sooner. MW Marine.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story of large police presence and possible officer-involved shooting in Milwaukee.
I'm Julia Fellow. More teachers for Milwaukee Public Schools.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, slowing down southbound 43 from Locust all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge, pretty much all the way down past Chase Avenue. On the northbound side, dealing with an earlier crash right at Fond du Lac Avenue. It finally has been cleared out of the way, but we do still have delays out of the Marquette up to North Avenue. The off-ramps to 35th Street from eastbound and westbound 94 are closed right now because of some police activity in that area. We do have delays, pretty hefty ones, from 20th Street all the way through to Hawley Road. The eastbound side's backed up from 76th Street all the way to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
A tornado watch is in effect for Ozaukee, Sheboygan, Fond du Lac, Washington, and Dodge counties until 10 o'clock tonight. A low of 60. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, more of a chance of evening storms again, a high of 75. Right now, Milwaukee, it's 65 degrees and cloudy.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a developing story on Milwaukee's south side. Details still scarce. A large police presence near 35th and National for a reported shooting. A source tells me it was a police chase and an officer-involved shooting. Don't know motive, don't know detail, don't know the condition of a person who may have been shot. We will update you as we learn more.
Milwaukee Public Schools plan to add nearly 90 new teaching positions next year. Superintendent Dr. Brenda Caselius tells Wisconsin's Morning News.
And made a determination that we were going to protect our student services, protect direct services to our children, particularly students who are most vulnerable, like our students with special needs, and also really manage class size across the district because that's what our parents expect.
The move comes as the district works to close a $46 million budget gap while protecting classroom resources. Caselius says cuts to other areas are necessary to close the budget deficit. District officials are expected to present a final budget next month.
7 people are injured after a barn roof collapses in Mequon.
It happened around 10 a.m. on Monday near Range Line Road and County Line Road. Several people were able to make their way out after the collapse, and Southern Ozaki Fire Department rescued 3 others who were trapped under debris. A total of 7 people were taken to the hospital with injuries ranging from minor to serious. It's unclear what caused the collapse. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Representative Eric Swalwell says he will resign from his seat in Congress after multiple sex assault allegations against him.
The House Ethics Committee has launched an investigation into Congressman Eric Swalwell. The chair and ranking member of the panel said they will probe allegations that Swalwell, quote, may have engaged in sexual misconduct, including towards an employee working under his supervision. Florida Republican Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna told CBS News she plans to move forward with an expulsion resolution against Swalwell despite the investigation. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The man accused of throwing a Molotov cocktail at the home of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman is now facing federal charges.
Newly unsealed court documents find Texas man Daniel Moreno Gama traveled to San Francisco to allegedly throw a Molotov cocktail at OpenAI CEO Sam Altman's house. The incident was captured on surveillance cam around 4 a.m. Friday. No one was hurt, but the incendiary device did spark a fire at an exterior gate. Federal prosecutors say when they took Moreno Gama into custody near OpenAI headquarters an hour later, they found a document in which he allegedly expressed anti-AI executive sentiments. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
An election decided by a coin flip.
In Outagamie County, last week's race for village trustee in Hortonville had 4 candidates vying for 3 open seats. Shauna Keel and Dalton Davis tied for that final seat with 356 votes each. Per state statute, if 2 or more candidates receive the same amount of votes, the winner must be chosen by a random, unbiased method. They flipped a coin to settle that tie. Keel was given heads and Davis had tails. The result was tails, electing Davis to the 3rd position for village trustee. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
With Chris McIntosh stepping away from his role at the University of Wisconsin, the search is on for a new director of athletics.
While it's unclear who will lead recruitment efforts for a new athletics director, MMAC senior advisor Tim Sheehy believes the job opportunity is attractive.
He did set the program up well with a new $285 million athletic facility. He's got the program in better stead in terms of financial resources that they're going to need to deal with NIL world.
McIntosh's departure, the latest high-profile departure from the university.
They don't have a chancellor in place and they don't have the president of a system. It makes that search very difficult.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers waiting on results of an MRI that will now determine how much time Christian Yelich is going to miss with a hamstring injury suffered during last night's loss to the Nationals. Milwaukee's 5th straight defeat.
Every team's going to go through this, and it hurts like crazy, but I still like the team. We're most likely going to get some bad news on Yelich to further put us down, if you want to.
The homestand continues with Pat Murphy's crew tomorrow night against the Blue Jays. After 3 seasons with the Bucks, head coach Doc Rivers stepping down. Bucks finish the season with a record 32-50. When asked if he's played his last game as a member of the Bucks, Giannis tells Eric Name of The Athletic, "I don't know. It's not up to me. We'll see."
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:36.
Wisconsin weather doesn't ease into spring. It keeps you guessing. That's why your windows and doors need to handle everything. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we build for year-round comfort. Now get 0% interest until 2030. That's years of no interest, so you can upgrade now and pay over time. Plus, enjoy a free in-home consultation, expert installation, and a 10-year limited warranty. But order by April 30th. Schedule today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply.
Hi, I'm Jane. Before moving to Capri Communities, my daughter spent more time helping me with chores than enjoying our visits. Now she comes over and we can go to concerts, we enjoy delicious meals, and participate in activities that are always happening. I choose senior living so that our time together can be more about fun than fixing things. And I love the freedom it gives me every day.
Give the care that has your parent enjoying life again at CapriCommunities.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky is with us. Hello, Niz.
Yo, what's up, guys? Yeah, we got some action to talk about tonight.
We do. Let's get to that in a second. First, some important stuff. When is it too early to start selling Halloween decorations in the stores? They're doing it at Home Depot.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, 201 days out, they're doing it. All the decorations. They said start early, halfway to Halloween.
So they literally have because actually my kids enjoy doing that, and then they bug me about what I should buy and stuff. But so they're putting the big giant decorations up already.
12-foot tall skeleton, you name it, they have it.
Yeah, buy now, Niz. Before they're all gone, buy now.
Oh my goodness! I mean, I feel like they didn't even get the patio furniture out yet. On the rotation.
I know.
That's
right.
Crazy.
Right? Isn't that nuts?
Crazy?
Well, that means
That's
with this
nuts.
logic that June 1st we'll have the Christmas stuff out.
Yeah,
6 months ahead of time.
And then we just, we'll start doing it like a year in advance, and then it will be right on schedule.
Oh.
You know what I mean? If you think of it that way.
Crazy.
This is enforced. So when they put it out, like what'll happen if we keep this trend up? I mean, wrap your mind around this. When they put it up for Halloween of 2028, it's really 2027 that it works for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. It's insane. All right, let's get to what you mentioned right up the top, because right now a tornado watch is in effect for part of our area. Let's start with that, Niz, and then maybe we can talk about what you expect the rest of the night and tomorrow. That watch is for a big area.
It is, and I don't want to put our guard down completely here in southern Wisconsin, but honestly, looking at some of the model trends, our column of air right now, I'm really not too concerned with the stuff that was once looking like it could have fired up here in southern Wisconsin with this initial round. Honestly, I don't see much happening until like after 10 o'clock for most of us here in southern Wisconsin. So I don't know if the National Weather Service is going to eventually, put a cancellation to this tornado watch. But this initial stuff that there was a while where it was looking like we'd get some stuff to fire up this evening. There's always the main event that was going to come through overnight tonight, and that still looks like it's going to be the case. But there was some stuff for a while. It was looking like it was going to fire up beforehand, and that appears to not be coming to fruition.
All right, so that is good news. As you mentioned, you guys have been calling for heavy weather potentially tonight. What are we looking at tonight?
Yeah, so it still looks like we get a pretty good complex, a strong complex of storms to line up. And you can already see the makings of this happening across basically from central Wisconsin into southern Minnesota. And eventually, that complex of storms is going to work its way south. And that will happen for our northern counties probably around 10 o'clock or on this evening. And then this stuff may not make it to Milwaukee until after midnight tonight. So we're going to watch that, basically a line of storms to develop completely across central Wisconsin, and then it will start working south. So if you look at the radar now, the stuff that's up towards Stevens Point will eventually work its way towards us. And again, it's looking after midnight for most of us here in southern Wisconsin.
All right, so that stuff is coming. Then tomorrow it sounds like there's a better chance of severe weather for southeast Wisconsin. Is that right?
Yeah, totally. So today, while I think we found ourselves kind of on the fringe of the risk, tomorrow we're pretty much in the bullseye of the risk. I could see, conditions developing where late tomorrow afternoon, let's say this time, tomorrow afternoon, we're dealing with, multiple severe thunderstorms. And yes, even a tornado risk with this tomorrow. So more concerned with severe weather tomorrow. Again, don't take your guard down tonight, but tomorrow definitely has a bigger threat for us here in southern Wisconsin.
Man, and then the rain continues for days after that, right? Can you kind of lead us through a few days after that? It's a really rainy stretch.
More rain and storms on Wednesday. I think, it's kind of pick your poison, but if we get through this without like big time severe weather, flooding may end up stealing the headlines with this. Tonight, with the round of storms, we could see another 2, maybe 3 inches of rain in some spots across our northern counties, areas that are completely waterlogged already. So I think that will start to at least introduce a moderate flooding threat, swollen rivers, maybe even over the flood banks, and, the potential for some isolated flash flooding. And then we tack on another round tomorrow, and then more on Wednesday. we're going to have to really, be on our toes. If you know that you are someone who lives in a flood-prone area, start to be on alert. If you know you're somebody whose basement tends to flood, make sure that you have, your sub pump operating properly. Starting to get into that territory, guys, here this week.
Going to be a busy week. All right, we will stay tuned to the forecast, Niz.
Yep, you bet, guys. We'll see you.
Have a good night. It is 5:43 at WTMJ. Mark Cass on what the Giannis Doc Rivers news likely means to future ticket sales, sponsorship sales, and our community. That's up next. Traffic is always sponsored by Infinity Exteriors, your local experts for roofing, siding, and window projects.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hassleus.
Listen to Hassleus having a mattress right now.
Whoa, your low talking reminds me of way too low pricing at Hassleus Mattress.
Are they really low?
How low? Our 35 beds from the top 5 brands start at $293.
So you have no employees in your showroom?
If you're inquiring about a free box spring with the purchase of any Sealy Posturepedic or Beautyrest mattress, employee-free showrooms, and free next-day delivery, the answer is yes.
Holy cow!
Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hassleus.com.
Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. They are transforming the culture of care. They're doing it a different way. You don't have to think about assisted living places as places that are less than desirable. Azura is a beautiful place with loving and caring staff, many locations. I love the vibe when I'm in there. It's genuinely fun. And they specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. It is Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Wisconsin-based, family-owned, doing it the right way every day. Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
It's Tuesday in Milwaukee. I've worn a parka, crop top, and rain poncho since breakfast.
Our weather has commitment issues, Tracy. It's bipolar with a side of, are you kidding me?
If your heating and cooling system is also confused, you're in luck.
At Capital, we're giving you year-round comfort for the price of one season. Buy a furnace, we'll give you an AC for free.
You heard him. Turn that brr into ah and tell that Milwaukee weather to move on.
Call CapitalCares.com.
Keeping you updated on culture and creativity. What's on Tap with Sandy Max.
In the studio with the co-directors of the new documentary, simply titled Uke.
It's combining my two great loves of baseball and dreaming of being a baseball player someday and becoming a filmmaker, and somehow the two worlds have collided.
Now that they know what he was going through, it'll just make his fans love him even more.
Weeknights at 6 on WTMJ and the What's on Tap podcast on WTMJ.com.
Let's get you where you need to safely with Debbie Lazaga.
We got some delays along southbound 43 starting at about Locust all the way down through the Marquette. We've also got westbound 94 slowing from 27th Street to Hawley Road. Eastbound's backing up just east of 76th Street all the way to about 35th. Now remember, the 35th Street off-ramps are closed from either direction of 94 because of that police activity there, so just avoid that area if you can. We've got southbound 894 backing up from Beloit Road down and around the Hale interchange to Forest Home, and then delays on northbound 41 from before Mayfair Road all the way up past Burleigh, and an accident at Hampton Avenue off on the right shoulder. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Mark Cass is the Chief Operating Officer of Team Lammy and the Executive Director of the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame. Always has great insight into these sports stories and business stories, and Mark's with us in the studio. Hey, Mark.
John, it's always good to see you. Julia, what a Sunday night, huh?
What a
I'm
Sunday
sitting
night.
on the couch going, okay, there goes Doc. Okay, there goes Chris McIntosh. Who's next?
Yeah.
This all happened within like an hour of each other last night on a Sunday night. That was
It actually
crazy.
started earlier.
Yeah.
On Sunday, earlier in the day, I saw Mark Cass's brother Lenny pretty much take him out and get the
Wait a
best of
second.
him on the pickleball
That's
court.
because you were on my team, John, and I had to carry you. And carrying all, I won't say how much, a 120 or maybe a little higher than 120.
That's nice.
On
Did you say 120?
On my back. It's a lot to carry. Oh,
well,
my God.
you proved you couldn't do it because
I know.
Lenny just
Wait,
wiped us
he
out.
thought you were 120 pounds?
No,
I thought it was points or something.
I maybe dropped a number. Maybe it's 220, or maybe I don't know. Maybe it's
well, it is closer to 220 than 120. We can all agree on that. Hey, Mark, let's get into this. You brought this up. A big
huge
development.
Night.
Not
Yes.
a real surprise, but Doc Rivers. I want to start with this. The headline in the Journal-Sentinel says Doc Rivers steps down as Bucs head coach.
I think he may have been encouraged. Just
if
saying.
he stepped down completely on his own, like I want to spend time with my kids, they wouldn't be paying him his contract.
No. This is 100%. Everyone knew this was going to happen. I mean, it was a matter of time. Very unsuccessful year on the court. They had all the issues, horrible press. Just not a great year for the team overall. So, no, this was expected. It clearly was a decision. He may have wanted to go, but I'm sure he was asked to. There's no doubt about it.
John, Doc's record, you had it in front of you.
It's right here, Mark. 97-103 and 3-8 in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, it's been think about it. Think about 21. It seems like that was like 1982, doesn't it?
It does.
We're thinking back at 21. It was amazing. 22. It's been a tough couple years. Just things haven't clicked as well. They've had a lot of injuries, clearly, but still. I mean, I get the injuries, but look at the Celtics. I've been saying that for the last couple of years. The Celtics had a significant injury to their best player.
Yep.
Yet, you know what seed they are? They're a 2 seed. And a lot of people think now that he's back, they're going to win the championship. It's crazy. Here it just didn't work, unfortunately.
If the Bucs decide that they want to keep Giannis and they're not ready to start over again, could you make the argument that this at least helps? It doesn't hurt. I mean, we're making a change. Giannis, we know winning is paramount. We're getting rid of a coach who hasn't got it done.
It was a start. It had to happen. There was no doubt it was going to happen just because of somebody had to go, right? A year like this, someone's head has to roll. So, yeah, I think it helps. Hopefully it helps with Giannis. I think it helps with the fans. There's a lot of anger out there. There's a lot of kind of sitting and waiting. I mean, I'll tell you what I said to the guy who called me for my tickets. I said, please call me back in fall. I don't want to talk to you now. You can't tell me if you're going to have Giannis on the team. You can't tell me kind of who's going to be on the team, what's going to happen. I said, I'll talk to you in fall. Thanks for calling.
That's a tough job that guy has. I didn't thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, why would anybody commit right now to a season ticket other than you're there for the experience, which I get, but I also want to know who's on the team and are they going to be a really competitive team?
Might be a good deal right now, though. Now that
That's true.
Mark's talking about
That's
that.
true. I wonder, Julia, Mark, if there's good deals on the sponsorship side of things.
Yeah,
that's a hard job. If you're the guy selling sponsorships and you're calling companies right now.
Think about this or the Bucs.
Oh, my God.
Yes, no doubt that's a tough stuff. But also on the honest side, think about what happened in the past 3 or 4 years. They got a lot of international sponsorships. So if he leaves, a lot of those international sponsorships are going to go with him, aren't they? Because that's why they did it. They did it because Giannis in Greece, obviously huge. Giannis anywhere in Europe, huge. So to me, that's a big thing here. This is a big time for the Bucs from both on the court and off the court. You saw it for those last few games. There were a lot of empty seats up there. I mean, which is not a surprise. So how do they sell seats between now and September? Good luck. I mean, it's going to be very, very difficult.
What's the deadline?
Go ahead, Julia.
No, what's the deadline? Where are we now?
Well, I don't think we're going to know something for a couple months. He can get a max contract in October. But I got to believe over the next month or two, they're going to sit down and say, Giannis, okay, hypothetically, if I offered you, $300 million or kind of whatever it is, will you accept it? He says yes or no, or they just decide they can't go. I think them not allowing him to play over the past 2 weeks is probably the end. If you think about it, he's mad about that. He really wanted to play with his brothers. That was a big deal to him.
He wanted that Nike bonus.
And you could, I think the brother thing was more important. He's about his brothers and family. There's no doubt. And the fact that he was not allowed to play with his brothers, I think, really bothers him.
But you could flip that, right? Couldn't they go to him and go, Giannis, we're literally the only team in the league that's going to let you have 2 brothers on the roster down the road.
Maybe your uncle, your aunt, your cousin, your mailman.
Want to play?
Who else? We'll bring them all in.
What little Bronny? LeBron James is
like that.
Right.
Because most teams are not going to do that.
No.
It's going to be an interesting couple of months, that's for sure.
No doubt. But again, think about if you're the guy who's trying to sell tickets or the woman who's trying to sell tickets or sponsorships.
That's a rough
It's a tough call right now.
Mark Cass is with us. He's the Chief Operating Officer for Team Lammy. Let's talk about something else that happened big yesterday. Chris McIntosh
surprise
out at Madison. This one seemed to surprise people. What do you make about this?
Yeah, I think it's a matter of a couple things are going on up there. I think the NIL and everything that's going on in college athletics, it's tough to be an AD right now. That's a tough job. You got to raise a lot of money. He's not worried about the football team. He's worried about raising money for all of his sports. So it's a tough job. I think they've had a rough couple of years for football, right? Think about the last, and he got a lot of kind of thing of that. They just lost their chancellor just left, who was a big supporter of his. Maybe he saw the writing on the wall or things coming down and just said, hey, here's a great job. I'm going to grab it. What I thought was interesting, John, and I said this to you in a text today, he left immediately. He left today. It's like kind of 1 month notice, 2 month notice, 2 weeks notice. He's gone today. That's weird to me, and there's something more to that story.
What do you make of that? What could the options be there?
It could have been he went to them and they said goodbye. They said you know, kind of, you know, we don't want you here. But I can't believe he was a star in that team. He's a legend up there. If he played for his football playing, surprising to me. There's got to be more to the story there.
Yeah.
Tausch was upset. Mark Tauscher, former Badger, he was beside himself with how bad the season was. It's embarrassing.
It is. I mean, that was part. There's no doubt. But again, I mean, college athletics has changed. There was a quote. I don't know if you saw this the other day. The guy for Connecticut who hit the game-winning shot against Duke can make more next year in college than he can make in the NBA as a rookie.
Wow.
As a rookie, because the rookies have a pay scale.
Wow.
Remember that? So he can earn more because he's going to be like the number one player for Connecticut.
Yeah, NIL superstar.
Right. NIL super. He could make $6 million,
Wow.
$4 million.
That's bad for the NBA.
Think about that.
Oh.
That's how college sports has changed.
That's terrible. All right, let's.
He's
talk
making
about...
John McCure money, right?
Okay,
Julia?
Exactly.
See, this leads into what I was going to say. The only guy who maybe talks more trash than Mark Cass is Micah Parsons, and you guys got something cool that you've been working on. The Packers charity softball game. Jordan Love's involved. Micah Parsons is involved. This is in 5th. June. Man, there's some cool, fun energy around
June
this.
5th up in Appleton at this Timber Stadium. We have Micah Parsons involved this year, and there's a championship belt involved here. Whoever wins the game, offense or defense, gets to take home the belt. And Jordan, the thing I found, these football players love these championship belts. They love wrestling. So they hold, kind of like you said, you could get, essentially, you're holding up the belt. They want to win this belt. They will. I think Micah may be out there on his scooter playing because he wants to win this belt so bad. But it's a lot of fun. It's up in Appleton. It's to raise money for each of their foundations. It's to help causes in the community. Jordan and Mike are two awesome guys. They really want to be there, want to have fun, and just want to help the community. So please come out and support it. It's a great night. You get to see it. You get to see 25 or 30 of your favorite players on the softball field trying to play softball. And John, I'll say this: they play softball like you play pickleball. I'm
They're
just going to
that
say
good.
Okay, I dropped the good and add in another word. They're okay. Or maybe less than okay.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're better softball players than I am a pickleball player.
I'm going to say this. Watching a 300-pound guy trying to swing a bat is usually pretty interesting.
It is.
Yes.
It is. Are tickets still on sale?
There are still tickets. But they're selling fast ever since we announced Micah Parsons.
Is he okay? Can he play?
No, he's not going to play in the game. He's going to come and coach. He'll be there on, God forbid, we're not going to hurt Micah Parsons before the season starts.
Oh, yeah.
But he'll be there. He'll be supporting the cause. But it's interesting to watch these players play. They're great on the football field. When it comes to other sports, not so much.
That's the headline. Mark Cass wrecks Micah Parsons.
No.
Season.
We're not doing that.
Don't let that happen.
Micah is going to be in the dugout. We're going to guard him. He's not going to get hurt. I promise you that.
Mark Cass is the Chief Operating Officer for Team Lammy and the Executive Director of the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame. It's a great place. You ought to walk by there. You ought to check it out online. Mark, always good to see you. Thank you so much.
It's always fun to be here, guys. Thanks.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The Village of Caledonia seeks a new developer after terminating an agreement with Cardinal Capital Management. The company never delivered on a proposal for a condominium development on Erie Street near Lake Michigan. A former financial advisor at Northwestern Mutual in Cincinnati